every single morning. And this morning, Uncle Tabsy is joining us from Johannesburg to bring us some world record-breaking content. Yes, it is the content we all signed up for this morning. And no, we're not exaggerating. I'm not being dramatic at all. Dano Peterson, with his father, has decided to set a world record for the longest uninterrupted drumming and percussion session. We can't wait to see it. Imagine just like...
I wonder what the current record is at the moment. I'm sure Tabsy will be able to tell us.
Definitely. But it was also a very exciting week of sports, and I know the boys have so much to get into. Jeremy Harris is also here to give us all the lowdown on that. But let's find out how the boys are doing after yesterday's match. Good morning, boys.
I'm assuming she was referring to the Sheffield United Tottenham match,
of course,
the big ticket game of the weekend, the big one. Buddy, very good morning. Well played yesterday. Good morning from my side. I'm Graham Richards.
And good morning to you, beautiful souls. Of course, thank you so much for joining us on this incredible Monday as we kickstart your week and get you coasting through all the way to the weekend.
Yeah, man, and lots to be inspired about. Yes, we will be getting into all of the sporting action. We were just saying now, maybe the game, the big one between Liverpool and Man United didn't produce the fireworks that we were hoping for, but some great footballing action to round off. But of course, we are just loving, we are reveling in the fact that we live in one of the most beautiful places on earth.
Truly, G. And I mean, I can't compare it, especially when you live in a place like this. You've got an ocean and a mountain meeting each other with waterfalls in the mix. I don't know where to begin when it comes to this country.
Would you say this is your favorite spot? What do you think is the most beautiful place in South Africa you've been to?
If it wasn't for Cape Town being so overpopulated with tourists and everybody trying to just get in line to get a piece of the pie, I think Eastern Cape for me.
Yeah.
It's got everything that Cape Town has without that. It's got that raw, untouched beauty as well, G.
Completely, the wild coast.
That's where my heart would go.
Yeah,
the wild coast for sure.
I'm feeling it. Well, what is your favorite spot in the country? What is your most beautiful place? Our country is filled with so many amazing holiday destinations. What is your favorite? It doesn't have to be wild and nature related. That's just our vibe. Maybe it's Durbs. Maybe it's a place we have never heard of before. Maybe it's Hammanskraal. We don't know. You've got to let us know. We'd love to hear from you on our social media platforms. And while you're at it, why don't you pass a comment, about this weekend's sporting action? Maybe you Liverpool, maybe
Bring on the
United.
banter.
Yeah, come on. Maybe the game isn't quite over yet, but we'll be delving into all of that with Jeremy Harris in just a moment. Right now, let's bring you up to speed with those news headlines.
Thank you, team. Well, let's start with your national headlines. After implementing stage 1 load shedding at 11 p.m. last night until 5 a.m. this morning, Eskom announced last night that stage 2 load shedding would again be implemented from 5 a.m. this morning. The highly indebted power utility said the drop to stage 1 overnight was due to the return of service of some generating units that had been delayed. It also wanted to manage emergency generation reserves and identify risks to the power system. Eskom said further updates would be communicated today. And Gift of the Givers, the largest disaster response non-governmental organization of African origin on the continent, has donated vital oxygen machines to hospitals around the country to help save as many lives as possible. The latest donation is to public and private hospitals in Swellendam, Riversdale, Mossel Bay, Sedgefield, Knysna and George, where the need has been dire. During the pandemic, the Gift of the Givers has been on the front line of supporting all those in need, donating food parcels, PPE, medical supplies and even makeovers to hospital wings. Moving beyond our own borders, Uganda's main opposition presidential candidate, Bobi Wine, says his life is being threatened following Thursday's election, which saw Yoweri Museveni win a 6th elected term. The singer-turned-politician told the media that he rejected the results. He alleged there had been many irregularities, but Museveni called it Uganda's fairest ever vote. Campaigning had been marred by violence in which dozens of people died. Just ahead of voting day, the government shut down the internet, a move condemned by election monitors. And 10 foreign tourists have been punished for flouting the coronavirus lockdown in India by being made to write out lines including, and I quote, "I did not follow the lockdown, I am sorry," unquote, 500 times on pieces of paper. Officers in the popular tourist destination of Rishikesh in northern India found this novel way to set an example when they came across a group of foreigners relaxing on the banks of the river Ganges, violating the rules. There are still thousands of tourists stranded in India because of the coronavirus lockdown. And now, news of the last frontier that has been conquered. The mountaineering community is extremely excited by the news that one of the last frontiers in their sport has been conquered. A team of 10 Sherpa climbers from Nepal has set a new world record by becoming the first to reach the summit of K2, the world's second highest mountain in winter. K2, which is only 200 meters shorter than Everest, is part of the Karakoram range that straddles the Pakistan-China border. One of only 14 mountains higher than 8,000 meters, it is widely considered the most demanding of all in winter. It has long been referred to as the Savage Mountain, a name that stuck around after US mountaineer George Bell said of his own failed attempts in 1953. And to quote him, it says, "It's a savage mountain that tries to kill you." Now, mountaineer Nirmal Pooja, a former member of the Britain Special Forces boat service, shared an image of the group celebrating their achievement and said they were so proud to have been part of history for mankind and to show that collaboration, teamwork and a positive mental attitude can push limits to what one feels may be possible. Well, on that positive note, that's where I leave your morning headlines for now. Let's take a first look at your sport.
Thanks so much, Zoe. Let's kick it off with rugby. The Springbok women stepped up their preparations for the 2021 Rugby World Cup with a training camp in Stellenbosch last week. The Rugby World Cup will be hosted in New Zealand from the 18th of September to the 16th of October. South Africa will face quite a tough pool: England, France and debutants Fiji in Pool C. Bok women's coach Stan Robenheimer and his management invited 24 players to their training camp. Another 16 players will join the group in March. Plenty of footballing action to sink our teeth into after the weekend in match day 11 of the 2020-2021 Premier Soccer League season. Kaizer Chiefs, they're back on track. They've made it 2 wins in a row. That was after beating Cape Town City 2-1. And it was a bad day at the office for our defending champions, Mamelodi Sundowns, undoubtedly dropping points with a goalless draw against their Tshwane rival SuperSport United. Swallows FC sit level on points with log leaders Sundowns after claiming a 1-0 win against Baroka FC. And then Black Leopards, they beat Orlando Pirates 2-0 in the shock result of the weekend. That one happening at the Toyondu Stadium. This was the second loss for the Buccaneers this season. Then staying with football, Manchester United remain at the top of the English Premier League standings. That was after a very exciting 0-0 draw against Liverpool at Anfield. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Red Devils remain 3 points clear of the defending champions at the top of the table. Other results: Tottenham Hotspur beat bottom of the table Sheffield United 3-1. Chelsea edged out Fulham 1-0, and Manchester City, they thrashed Crystal Palace in the late game 4-0. There'll be one league fixture tonight, an important one for Arsenal as they face Newcastle United. That one kicks off at 10 p.m. But we'll get into all of our weekend sporting action in just a moment with Jeremy Harris, so don't stray too far. Right now, though, let's take a look at some of your beautiful sunrise pictures.
And they are beautiful indeed, and we love seeing how you start your day wherever you are. So please continue to share what part of the country looks like for you when you wake up in the mornings, and you can do so on the Expresso Facebook page. Starting us off this morning is our sunrise contributions. This morning we have a big thank you to say to Aisha Parker, who sent us this picture from Misty Cliffs in Cape Town, and it is a stunningly moody sunrise photo. Thank you for that, Aisha. Now you can expect some sunny and warm conditions today ahead with a maximum of 28 degrees. And then we also say thank you to Janine Carey from Durban, who sent through this warm sunrise view. There is a 56% chance of rain forecasted for today with a maximum of 26 degrees. And if you would love to be featured in our sunrise segment, please head on over to the Expresso Show Morning Facebook page and share what part of the country you are from and what it looks like first thing in the morning. Some quick news: there were flash floods in the Riet River on Loch Vaal on Saturday that led to a family of 6 from Vanderbijl Park being rescued by police search and rescue, the SA Air Force and the NSRI. Police search and rescue managed to safely rescue 4 of the 6 residents from the home by waiting to to them in the swollen river, but an aged couple remains stranded in the home with quickly flooding waters rapidly rising. The NSRI then launched their Discovery Rescue Runner, accompanied by police divers, with the aim of rescuing the couple from the home, but the submerged and semi-submerged lengthy farmland grass hampered their efforts to success. Rescue crews eventually requested help from the SA Air Force, and the couple was airlifted to security. The NSRI has cautioned communities alongside rivers and dams in the Vaal River area to be vigilant of flash floods when experiencing heavy downfalls. A big thank you to all of the rescue services involved, and that the family is safe. Well, let's look at your temperatures for today. If you're in Polokwane, expect partly cloudy conditions with a high of 26. Mbombela 17, reaching a high of 28. If you're in Pretoria, 15 with a high of 30 can be expected. Partly cloudy conditions in Johannesburg with a high of 28. Mahikeng 19, reaching a high of 30. Partly cloudy in Klerksdorp today, a low of 18, a high of 32. It's sunny in Kimberley, a low of 21, a high of 33. Partly cloudy conditions in Bloemfontein, 17, reaching a high of 30. Rain can be expected in Richards Bay with a high of 27. Wet conditions for Pietermaritzburg today, 16 with a high of 25. Durban, 22, reaching a high of 26. Cloudy conditions in Mthatha with a low of 15, a high of 25. East London, cloudy with a high of 24. If you're in Cradock today, sunny conditions reaching a high of 34. Warm conditions for Port Elizabeth today, 19, reaching a high of 25. George, 17, reaching a high of 25. If you're in Cape Town, a low of 18 with a high of 28. Worcester, 15, reaching a high of 37. Sunny conditions in Sutherland, 11, reaching a high of 32, and Uppington, your low for today is 22 and your high is 37 degrees Celsius. That's where I leave your weather for now. I'll have another update shortly after 7.
Thank you so much for that, Zoe. Now, as many of our viewers know, we absolutely love hearing from you and also engaging with you on all our social media platforms. Now, if you know this name, Nick Lombard has been one of our long-standing Sunrise contributors in the mornings, and today we are catching up with him to find out about his passion for photography, some of his favorite Expresso memories, but most importantly, we are wishing him a very happy birthday. Happy birthday, Nick, and a very good morning to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Should we do a...
I think you only deserve it for sure, Jamie. You ready?
Yes.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Nick. Happy birthday to you. Yes!
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Listen, brother, I got to ask you, obviously, happy birthday. I hope it was a beautiful weekend, but what exactly did you get up to? You obviously celebrated on Friday, but how was the special day?
So the special day was indeed very special. I'm very fortunate to have been with family and friends, and we wanted to do the traditional braai, but unfortunately with the rains that we had, the mozzies was a bit bad outside. So my sister decided to make us some sushi poke bowls instead. So it was very, very special indeed.
Oh, yeah. What a special way to spend your evening and your birthday. Family is really so important. Now, as your Expresso family, we'd like to get to know you a bit better. How long have you been watching Expresso, and also why do you enjoy starting your day with us? I can mention a few, but maybe you can tell us.
Yes. So I think I've started already like 10 years ago. I went through the whole presenter search and stuff with you guys. So yeah, I've been a fan since inception. But really, the segments that I enjoy is obviously the food segments with Chef Clem. Yeah, we are all foodies here in this family. So each and every time there's the food segment, it comes up, then we're sitting there with our notepads, taking notes and stuff, and just trying to make the recipes our own. And then obviously with, I like to call it the battle of the presenters. That's actually, quite nice as well, to see the presenters in competition, especially Zoe. It's a bit actually scary to see her, competing against you guys, but it's actually quite nice. And then obviously in the mornings in front of the television, Ra's Fitness.
Yes.
That's very, very interesting and very nice to do in front of the television before everyone wakes up. I think it's very good for the body, mind, and soul just to be ready, for the day ahead. And then also the various medical experts that you guys have. It's very insightful each time. And then lastly, I love animals and dogs. I am a huge animal activist. And the segment with the vet, Dr. Brink, is extremely insightful because we need to know how to take care of our friendly and furry pets. Yeah.
Oh, Nick, it's not only my face that's smiling like this, but you literally made my heart smile. Just thinking of how all our passion and work goes into actually producing the stuff that you actually enjoy. So thank you so much for staying with us for 10 years. And one thing I must commend you on is the fact that we honestly just absolutely fall in love with your sunrise pictures. Every time you send it through, we're blown away. And the nature boy inside of me absolutely loves it too. But I've got to ask, where did the passion for photography even come from? Where did it start? How did you get into it?
So photography for me is just a hobby. It actually started when I've got a lot of friends and family that's overseas. And they want to keep in touch with us. And it becomes a sort of a competition, where you guys, what are you eating, how the landscape is, and then it just boomed from there. And I've got quite a few Facebook friends that from overseas that through my photos actually visited South Africa. So, that was quite special to me, just to promote the country and just to show everyone what beautiful landscapes we actually have.
Nick Lomba, we value you. The rest of the world values you because of your contribution to the show. So we want to say thank you so much for always contributing and always being part of the family. And we really do appreciate all those pictures. And also now finally putting a face to the name. Now we know who Nick Lombard really is. So thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks, and keep up the good work.
So special. And the rest of you, Mzansi, of course, keep tuning in, keep chatting to us. We love to hear from you, and we appreciate every single soul and every single minute that you share with us. Here's to the rest of Monday's magic.
Are you ready for a sizzling summer holiday in Mzansi? Your best holiday is yet to come when you book at any participating Marriott branded hotel. Redefine your holiday with a beach break, nature retreat, or a road trip adventure. With the Marriott summer holiday offer, you can enjoy 25% off standard hotel rates, including free breakfast if you're a Marriott Bonvoy member and 15% if you're a non-Bonvoy member. Book on Marriott.com for the best rates guaranteed. Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. After a weekend that was jam-packed with sports, but pretty much focused on football, from our local Premier Soccer League, of course, to the English Premier League. Kaizer Chiefs and Manchester City confirming their resurgence in their respective leagues with some pretty impressive performances, while both the PSL and Premier League defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns and Liverpool dropped points with lackluster draws. Our sports anchor Jeremy Harris now joins us to chat a little bit of footy. Let's start back at home. Some interesting performances. I desperately wanted more from the Downs Super Sport because it's one place too. As you said, interesting coincidence that we had this happening in the Premier League and locally as well. Maybe that's why. Maybe there was a little bit too much in this game, or maybe just no team could spark. But you kind of feel that this was a missed opportunity for Sundowns or Super Sports, and that young back line for SuperSport did well against a very experienced attack.
Yes, I mean, I thought that, in both leagues, in both the English Premiership and locally here as well in our own Premiership, missed opportunities for teams to come away with the points there. Goalless is always a result which sort of makes you wonder about the quality of football on offer. And I think that of the two teams, Sundowns will look at that game and go, we were the ones maybe that should have picked up all of the points as opposed to a share of the spoils. And I think that, it's one of those, as you say, there's a lot of pressure riding on it. There's a lot of attrition going into the game. And you maybe shut up shop before you need to.
I would call it a mini victory for the defense of SuperSport. That's what I'm going to call it, because they did play incredibly well. I love that. Kaizer Chiefs. We've been trying to wrap our head around Chiefs. We put it to the viewers to try and explain to us what's changed. Maybe a positional change, Cordosa shifting. Maybe they've found a slightly different line there in attack. What is working now? That was an impressive win, 2-1 over Cape Town City this weekend. Can we call it a resurgence?
I think we can. I mean, we've seen 2 games in a row where they've played really good football. And the thing is, it's not, like they've been playing badly before, but they've just had nothing going for them. And they're a way better side than the results we've seen 3 games ago. And so for them to be where they were, I think they were in the 15th position at one stage just a couple of weeks ago. Now they're inside the top 10. I think they're 8th in the table now. 2 wins in a row, and I think that Gavin Hunt is trying to imprint his style in there. It's a difficult situation when you've got a new coach and a very experienced coach coming in as well, and you've got to get the new players, because there's been a couple of changes, a couple of personnel changes inside that Kaizer Chiefs squad, and so you've got a scenario where the new coach and the new youngsters coming in have got to sort of find each other and make the results work.
It's going to be very interesting for me to see if they actually do continue with this form, though, because now it's the fact of, okay, you've got a little taste of victory, you have somewhat of the ratio in terms of how to get the success. Can we replicate it? It's going to be the question, which I'm interested to see, especially considering the lead up they've had prior to these first 2 back-to-backs in quite a long time.
Yeah, and the thing is, this past weekend against Cape Town City, they were playing probably against one of the fitter teams in the league who love the counter-attack. I mean, that is their game, and so they were always going to be a challenge. And so for them to come away with the points at home in Cape Town, it's a good effort.
We'll just touch on it briefly just to save the pain for the Buccaneers out there. 2-0 down to Black Leopards. Meant a huge amount to Black Leopards, kind of 13th now on the log, taking them out of that danger zone, so to speak. But what happened to Pirates, man?
I've got no idea. I mean, I think even Pirates are wondering
they don't know.
what happened to them as well. That was a massive surprise for the weekend.
Let's shift across the pond. He's dying to talk about it, the most boring game of the weekend, but we're not going to get to that first. Let's talk about Leeds and Brighton very quickly. Neil Maupay got the start. There was a lot expected from this game because 2 sides that play really good attacking football. Leeds have had a brilliant moment or 2, Brighton a brilliant moment or 2. I think we all wanted to see Percy Tau out in the pitch. First of all, what do you make of Tau's now second appearance in the English Premier League?
Look, I mean, as a South African, I'm a little bit, ask me that question somewhere else maybe, but I mean, I was very excited for him, and I thought that he's done really well. He's acquitted himself well, the opportunities he's been given, and I just wish he gets more game time. I mean, to be honest.
It'll come, man. It'll come.
It's so exciting for me to actually watch the league right now that I've got a second team to support. I'm genuinely like a Brighton fan at the moment, and watching that game gave me a little bit of happiness.
Yes, exactly.
Pushing through from the relegation, I think they were like 3rd last. Seeing them take that victory was like, I'm enjoying this.
And playing good, exciting football in the process. Young Mason Mount got a huge amount of plaudits from Coach Lampard. Chelsea needed that victory.
Yeah.
Are Chelsea down and out? Could they push back into the top 4? Are they title contenders? Where are Chelsea sitting?
Look, Chelsea, you must never write them off. I don't think they're title contenders, to be honest. I think that Frank Lampard will probably stand on my foot if he hears me say that. But I just don't see them having that kind of edge, the kind of ability to force home results like the teams that sit sort of currently top 3 at the moment.
Great win for Leicester, still in the mix over Southampton, who have been probably the surprise package for me over the weekend. Yeah. Sheffield United going down 1-3 to Tottenham Hotspur, who seem to be definitely back in the title chase at this stage. But of course, the big one we're going to be talking about in just a moment is Liverpool up against Manchester United. Ended in a boring, lackluster 0-0 draw. No, it wasn't the most boring of matches. Plenty of talking points there as number 1 plays number 2, and we've invited in 2 super fans to get into the mix, so stick around.
Oh, I can imagine they must be very excited. But you know what? We really enjoy having our Nespresso every morning here in studio. But Jamie, have you ever wondered what happens to the capsules after we leave studio?
Well, I don't have to think about it anymore because Ryle, our very own resident nature boy, takes care of just that.
The Nespresso machine has become a part of our daily routine here in the studio. And another thing that's become a part of our routine is recycling used capsules. And of course, me being nature boy, I'm always the one to do it, but it's really so simple. So I don't actually mind. All you got to do is pop your used capsules into the recycling bin, and then of course, straight after that, drop it off at your nearest boutique or branch. When you get to the store, you can drop your used capsules into the capsule recycling bin. And of course, don't forget to grab yourself a free recycling bag. And seeing that I'm a member of the Nespresso Club, I'm gonna go enjoy some coffee. Sustainability is a big deal to Nespresso and something that is close to their hearts. And that's why making those coffee capsules so easy to recycle makes you part of the efforts to create a coffee experience that is sustainable from farm to cup.
Oh, amazing. It's nice to know where the capsules are going.
Absolutely.
And remember, you stand a chance to win an incredible Nespresso bundle that consists of the Pixie Machine bundle, 10 sleeves of coffee, Origin mugs, apron, and special edition Karen Dash, a pen with more than 5,600 Rand.
Simply reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook or Twitter page and tell us what are you doing differently to live more sustainably this year. Now remember to include the all-important hashtag Nespresso Expresso. The competition closes on Thursday, the 28th of January at noon, and those T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com.
There we go.
Cheers.
We chose some of the world's rarest local coffee crafts and refined them to create 5 distinct new tastes. After all, we are the choices we make.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we continue our weekend sporting review. This morning, sports anchor Jeremy Harris is still with us, but he's shifted to my side of the couch, and we are joined by Liverpool support. I'm going to call him superfan Robbie Jacobs, Manchester United supporters Andrew Nkaba, and Dylan Storm Smith. I hope that's a nickname, man. Is it?
Definitely, it's a nickname.
Yeah, man. Brought the storm. Gentlemen, very good morning. Welcome.
Thank you.
Do I say congratulations to everyone after a 0-0 draw, or do I go like, ah? How are we feeling about life? Robbie, how are you feeling about the fixture?
I think United deserved that point, and we missed our chances. So we must control the game. We must take in the step to being on top of them again. So yeah.
And it's burning, man.
Burning inside.
I can feel the pain. Dylan, an impressive performance. I think where United have shored up things at the back now, it feels like they've found the right click. They're top of the log, man.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that game? Before we talk about the season in general, how are you feeling about
Well, I think
the
with the
derby?
0-0 draw, some might say it was boring, but I think for many football lovers, many lovers of the beautiful game, I think all we want to see is a tightly contested game, and I think that's what we witnessed yesterday. So I think United really performed well. I think, like you said, at the back, defensively, from that defensive point of view, we really kept Liverpool at bay, and with all due respect to their front three attacking line, and we just kept them at bay, and yeah, we just performed well.
No due respect. Andrew is shaking his head, rolling his eyes.
They were non-existent, to be honest. And I feel that's why he said, like, we deserve that point. I feel like we deserve the 3 points because we had clear-cut chances that we should have nailed.
What went wrong?
I mean, it's just our attacking force, man. I mean, also it comes down to our coach not being able to make the vital or critical changes at the most critical stage of the game. And I think that's what cost us, because there were players on the pitch yesterday. One specific player Rashford. I mean, I think we all can agree that Rashford should have been subbed from the get-go. And he actually finished the whole game, and he had
wasn't his night, yeah.
It wasn't the best game for him.
Sometimes it happens that way, you know. But, the one thing, listening to the three of them, I must tell you, the one thing that I like about these sort of inserts, these opportunities to hear from the fans, is the passion. I mean, can you feel it? Can you feel the heat?
Robbie's heartbroken, man. I'm so sorry that we had to put you through this, man.
I'm looking for my fellow supporters.
When you do bring a buddy, and you know, they were sitting in our green room here, not saying a word to each other. They weren't going to talk. No. Fully understandable. Robbie, this is the first time in a long time that we've seen this derby with one playing two, with two title contenders playing each other. Is Liverpool still the favourite to win this league this year? You've been through a lot, missing some key players. I think Van Dijk, that's a massive loss. How are you feeling about the title hopes?
As champions, it's probably different for us since last year. I mean, being the 30 years trying to win the league, as champions is a different effect. But I believe as players are coming back now from injury, it messed with our balance, and it will only get better. Not losing yesterday was important, and we still, for me, favourites. City as well. United are still pretenders in my eyes.
Ooh. Well, let's talk about a team that was, what, like 50 odd?
Yeah.
And we were talking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer losing his job. What has he been able to get right to get to where he is right now and being a title contender?
I think, like you said, forming the back line, just starting week on week, bi-weekly on the game week. So we always have a regular starting lineup. I think that's important, you know, chopping and changing the lineup. Like we established the back line now, Lindelof, Maguire. So it's all about really that connection with the team. So forming that connection, the partnership, and I think, that's about it.
Bruno Fernandes.
I think the impact he had, really the creative player that he is. I think he's my favourite player right now. The impact he has since he's arrived, really good player.
And we can take nothing away from that balance, yes, but you need the stars on the field to perform. How important is it that Paul Pogba, I don't know what Ole Gunnar's done to unlock that, but now you've got Paul Pogba at his best. Maybe not last night, but we've seen in the last couple of games that he's been on fire, Andrew.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Pogba has always been a beast. I mean, he came to United and just changed things up. He has had times where he's been in a bit of a slump, but when he comes for everything, and he makes sure his presence is felt. So I feel like that's very important for United right now.
Who's going to win this league? Now, I'm going to put it to you, the pro. We know that Spurs are probably the most likely team to take it at this stage.
Delusional.
The bizarre thing is, anyone could do it. We could see a dark horse, we could see a Leicester, we could see a Chelsea even make up those points because it's that kind of a season.
Yeah.
Anyone could take it, but I have a feeling in 3 or 4 weeks now, everyone is going to be like, for City.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that, I mean, and we were talking about it earlier, about that game that City's got in hand. It's crucial. That's 3 points waiting for them to pick up and put into their back pocket. So I think that, as you say, those teams that sort of sit sort of 5th, 6th, in the table, lurking there, may very well come and spring a surprise. Got to tell you, for me, Liverpool have got that winning look about them. Manchester United are developing that look. Will it be enough to get them to the end line at the end of the season? Well, talk to me in about 20 games from now, and I'll let you know.
I know we've got a tough one coming up because I am a Spurs supporter. I don't know if that came out.
I mean, that was very obvious.
That might have been you and I will be seeing each other eye to eye here. But I've got to say, gentlemen, thank you so much for your passion. Please keep the conversation going on our social medias. We'd love to stay connected with you on Derby Day, on any day. This is an amazing football league and season this year. So enjoy it. It's going to go down to the wire. Thanking our super fans so much for joining us this morning. And are you a super fan? Well, you could be joining us on this couch. Let us know what team you're supporting and how passionate you are, and we might just invite you in.
Loving the banter there by our super fans. Of course, me being a Liverpool supporter at heart, I've got to say it's not all love lost, because I do feel like the team has found a new resurgence, especially in that back line. And I think it's just another week or two before we start cracking it in there, Jamie.
Yeah.
So let's wait and see. But we got an opportunity to chat to the rest of you, Mzansi, and see what you thought about your predictions for the game this weekend. And you guys came through, of course. Yeah.
A lot of people was like sitting on the draat, like me, draat fitted. But Nicole Gromani says 2-1 to United, #loyal fan. We are gonna win this. Well, you didn't, but it's okay. Nathan Kuhn said, morning Expresso family, I'm Liverpool and my prediction is Liverpool 3 and Man United 1.
Wasn't that close? Oh no. And the last one, we got Jean-Luc Jacquir saying this is an obvious match. Even with the injuries, Man United won't beat Liverpool at home. So I go with my team, Liverpool, full-time 3-2. I think Jean-Luc being the closest out of that prediction. They didn't win, we didn't lose either. So I think you guys were relatively close. I think a lot of these guys were wanting Liverpool to win, especially, of course, being fans at heart. So I feel you guys there, but we will be pushing on for more.
In just a moment, we are going to be doing Gospel Mondays with Jared Ricketts, so don't get anywhere. We'll see you in a bit.
welcome back. You're still locked in at your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we've got Monday. Large, and in charge, in course.
Lots of fun and competition rich in the air, of course. A competition to beat a world record, that sounds good to me. And Danny and Dano Peterson might just be achieving that right now.
Very good morning to you, South Africa. Welcome to it. Your Uncle Tebsy reporting live from Johannesburg. Yes, thank you very much, Valdemone and G-Man. What an exciting time we've got in store for you this morning. You're in for an absolute treat because, let's face it, it's not every day that you get to hear the legendary Dano Peterson perform for you, right? Oh yes, but we're bringing it to your living room today, and thank you very much for joining us this morning. Guys, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
It's really so fantastic to be able to spend this time with you because, I mean, the accolades that Dano has collected and the inspiring stories that we've had coming out of this family are just so incredible. I mean, yes, 15 years old already, having received accolades from the likes of our very own president, the likes of Barack Obama for some lifetime achievement award or recognition. It's absolutely incredible. But here you are today, preparing for something quite magical and quite inspirational around fatherhood, with a message also, around supporting our frontline workers. Yeah. Let's talk about what it is that you guys have invited us to check out today, all in preparation for the 30th of Jan.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having us. We've had a great journey with Expresso since the start, and we are just so thankful for Expresso SABC for always supporting us and being in your living room so early in the morning. Fatherhood is important. It begins and starts there. We do not need 16 days of activism against women and child abuse if fathers take their rightful responsibility and lead by example. And this is what this event is about, for fathers to come home, lead by example. I was privileged to still have my dad. My dad is 84, to still have him around. And because as a boy child, you emulate your dad. You want to be your father. So, because you don't know what's right or wrong. You just want to be this hero that you see in front of you. And I wanted to be that hero for my dad. Or I want to be that son. I want my dad to be that hero, and I wanted to be that son, And now, being a father myself, I then realized, oh my Lord, there's a bigger responsibility than just making this boy.
On, right?
Yeah, you can't just make this boy.
Ends. No, you can't just stop. But listen to this. You guys are here working on this. They are trying to break the world record for, the longest drumming and percussion playing. Because, that's just what fathers and sons wake up and do. Come on, Dano.
Yeah.
You keep stepping it up. Let's talk about that.
Yes, so we are setting this first ever world record. And nobody has done this in Africa. And also, this is not just a world record that we are doing, but this is like a 12-hour concert.
Wow.
So this at least also makes it a lot harder as well, because now my job is not to just play, but it's also to entertain as well. So, that turns the difficulty level all the way up to 10.
How do you even prepare yourself to have drumming and percussion going for 12 hours? 2 hours on its own already is a lot. But 12 hours, guys?
It is a stretch. Look, I'm
a lot of sleep.
I'm over 20,
It's a lot of sleep. It's a lot of sleep.
There's a lot of summers on this body, so it's got the practicing and the staying up with him. But I believe it's worth it.
I love it. It is worth it. It's a message of fatherhood. And you've explained it perfectly around why it's so important to remind people the importance of a father figure in all of our children's lives. But also the frontline workers are an important story that you really are looking to highlight during this time. Because let's face it, everyone knows that we're going through a pandemic. And the people who have really kept us going during this time are the frontline workers. What is your message there?
Our message is simple. They died because trying to save us. And we want to raise as much funds to assist those families who are now without loved ones. That's one. But two, my son has personally saw the devastation it brings to a household when the father can't work. I'm a full-time musician. That is what we do. How many full-time musicians, sound engineers, TV crew people, you guys couldn't work.
Everybody in the entertainment.
Everybody in the entertainment industry.
Yes.
So our plight is to raise as much funds. New Year's Eve was our biggest payday. It was our 13th check. We couldn't work. So whoever makes the decisions, guys, it's tough on musicians, it's tough on entertainers, it's tough on engineers. And it's not that we don't want to work, we can't. So we really, our plight is there for South Africa, and whoever's watching me now, look at our plight. We really want to leave a lasting legacy, even if it's food vouchers, man. Come and support.
We
so
want to
that we
give
raise,
anything that's
so that
possible,
we can help our frontline workers and families of musicians.
Dano, it's an important story, right? It's an important story to be aware of, that there's so many people right now. Yes, those who've lost their lives being in the front line, all in the effort to fight COVID-19. But of course, those who also are really having a tough time during this time. The event will stream on the 30th of Jan.
Yes.
How can people check it out?
Well, you can definitely check it out at my website, our website.
What is it?
DanoDrummerBoy.com as well. And you spell it DANNO, drummerboy.com. And you will get everything there about the event. Our social media will also be there. So if you care,
banking details.
And they're all
very important.
Yes. Well, we do know that our Expresso family out there, they do care for this sort of stuff. We are one big family that wants to make sure that everyone at the end of the day is aligned and good. Do let us know what you think of this cause. And of course, you're seeing all the equipment in the background. They're getting ready to really entertain us. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. A bit later on, a performance. Oh, yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
I cannot believe how far Dano has come. I've known him since he was like a little kid, and he was amazing then. He is truly phenomenal now, so we wish them all the luck.
Looking forward to that performance indeed.
Man.
But speaking of performances, stick around. We've got Jared Ricketts in the studio for Gospel Mondays.
Oh, well, listen, now we're in the kitchen. Tumi is joining me this morning. As can you believe it, it's already the 18th of January, and 6 years since its inception in the UK, Veganuary has picked up so much momentum. A lot of people joining in on, going a little bit more plant-based, even if you are just trying it out for the month of January. Now, we are going to make this morning this delicious, I'm talking about a chickpea and butternut balls, and this is going to be a nourish bowl that Tumi is going to put together for us. Good morning, first and foremost. This is your first time on Expresso, right?
Yes, it is. Good morning, Zoe.
Well, a very big welcome to you. We have a lot of fun in the kitchens. I like to be a good assistant, so you're welcome to put me to work. But when we are making our delicious fries, this is our chickpea and butternut balls, how do we start?
Okay, so to start off the nourish ball, what you're going to want to do is you're going to just take out your chickpea and butternut balls, and essentially you're just going to fry them in the frying pan. So it's super, super simple and, yeah, very convenient as well.
That's what the name says, it's fries. So you can fry it in the pan, you can pop it in the oven, pop it on a tray. I'm a little bit more on the lazy side, so I love my air fryer, so that's also quite cool to just put there. We actually have these ones here for you that you're welcome to pop in there. There we go, we made life easy for you.
Thank you.
There we go.
So you just put in a little bit of oil into your frying pan to get you going.
There we go. So do you practice Veganuary?
Yes, so I took the pledge to go vegan for January, so I am doing Veganuary.
Okay.
So I have done Veganuary for the last 3 years, so every month in January I take the pledge to go ahead and go vegan for the month.
That is amazing. So, I mean, you've been doing it for 3 years. Do you feel a difference when you participate in a month long of just focusing on more plant-based food?
Absolutely. So I think I'm more intentional about what I'm putting into my body and the kinds of foods that I'm eating, and just a little bit more aware. And yeah, I think it broadens your horizons in terms of the types of foods you can eat.
Amazing, amazing. So we're basically just warming up our balls, because what's great about these fries, they are already seasoned with sage and cumin, rolled in a light crumb, so it really is packed with flavor, and it has all of the goodness that your body would enjoy.
Yes.
Okay. So what is our next step?
So the next step, we're going to just start, putting together our nourish ball.
Okay.
So while those are frying, then we can start assembling our nourish ball, which is super simple. So maybe you can put yours in your bowl and then...
Okay, cool. How about you go and I'll follow your lead.
Okay, cool. So you take your greens. So this is some rockets and some baby spinach.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm going to take some too.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Just keeping an eye on your balls as well.
And I mean, there's something about just adding some spinach and rocket to a salad that just, it takes things away from that usual just adding lettuce to a bowl.
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
And the nice thing about dark leafy greens is that they also have a bit of protein in them, which is awesome. So that's really
There we go. And the nice thing about going plant-based is also it's naturally cholesterol-free, so really you are reducing your chances of getting heart disease if you do decide to follow a more plant-based meal plan. There we go. So we're adding some red cabbage.
Some red cabbage. So essentially you're just assembling it, which is really awesome. So I've got some black beans here as well.
And I suppose you can play around with, okay, are you like sectioning it? I'm like sprinkling it everywhere.
I like making it really pretty, so assembling it so that you can see all the colors.
So follow Tumi's way of doing it and not mine. This is like just mix it, it's a bowl. There we go.
Absolutely. So I think, you know, you eat with your eyes. So the prettier it looks, the more likely you are to enjoy it.
Okay.
There we go.
Well, I'm going to let you finish this dish and I'll follow your lead. But what's quite cool is if you want to be like Tumi and take the pledge, you can. So, well, first of all, we can say a big thank you to Fries and Tumi for bringing us this amazing, delicious, easy plant-based meal that you can make at home every single day. Now, aside from being a better choice for your own health, choosing a plant-based diet, it is kinder to the earth and all of its animals too. So whether you want to improve your own health, give the planet a helping hand, or simply want to try something new and exciting, Veganuary is the perfect platform to start your year off the right way. Now consider the way we eat and discover the magic of enjoying plant-powered meals today. And of course, if you do want to join that pledge, simply head on over to, you sign up on the Facebook page, and that Facebook page's name is We Love Veganuary. There we go. It's nice and easy. So you've added some cucumber, you've added your tomatoes, and then simply you're going to finish it off with our fries.
Fries, butternut balls. Absolutely.
There we go. There
Can I take this off the stove?
Yes, you can take it off the stove.
Okay. They're looking nice and crispy.
There we go.
So you can just add those on top.
I'm going to put my plate there, my little bowl there for you.
Sure.
And of course, we do have this recipe available for you. You can find it on Expresso Show's website. That's expressoshow.com. Look at that.
There we go. So it comes together really nicely.
Well, there we go. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, cool. And then we'll just simply garnish it with a little bit of avo. We've got some sesame seeds here. Really just everything to...
All the goodness.
Pack the goodness. See, I just did that. This is my kind of nourish bar. Well, Tumi, thank you so much. This fries dish looks amazing. I think I'm going to tuck into it. You maybe just want to garnish that for me. And of course, we do have this recipe available for you on expressoshow.com.
Thank you. There we go. That's your apple.
Nourish yourself with Fries this Veganuary and join the We Love Veganuary Facebook group.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. Now, first up this morning for Gospel Monday, we have Jared, and he'll be performing the song Let There Be Light. And I think with the world facing a pandemic and so many of our loved ones being affected by the coronavirus at this time, we can't think of a more relevant song as we're all in need of some light during these dark days. So, Jared, take it away.
Thank you.
Lord, the light of your love is shining in the midst of your darkness, shining. Jesus, light of the world, shine upon us, set us free by the truth you now bring us. Shine on me, shine on me, shine, Jesus, shine. Fill this land with the Father's glory. Place, Spirit, place. Set our hearts on fire. Flow, river, flow. Flood the nations with grace and mercy. Send forth your word, Lord, and let there be light. As I gaze in your awesome presence, from the shadows into your radiance, by your blood I may enter your presence. Search me, try me, consume all my darkness. Shine on me, shine on me, shine, Jesus, shine. Fill this land with the Father's glory. Blaze, Spirit, blaze. Set our hearts on fire. Flow, river, flow. Flood the nations with grace and mercy. Send forth your word, Lord, and let there be light. Oh, Lord, and let there be light.
Ooh, Jared Ricketts this morning with Let There Be Light, certainly a song that we all need during these times. Also, we know that Jared Ricketts will still be performing 2 more performances on Gospel Monday, so stay around for that. But right now we are down to the top of the hour, and here is G with those news headlines.
Thank you, Jamie. Well, I'm going to start with your national headlines. KwaZulu-Natal Premier Sihle Zikalala yesterday called on COVID-19 patients to present themselves early to health facilities, saying this would reduce the high demand for ICU beds. This as KZN currently has the highest number of active coronavirus cases in the country with over 62,000. Meanwhile, tributes are pouring in for the late KZN MEC for Transport, Community Safety and Liaison, 63-year-old Becky Ntuli, who has succumbed to COVID-19 in Durban Hospital. And Catholic Archbishop Abel Gabuza of Durban passed after a week battling COVID-19 in the ICU at Hillcrest Hospital. After implementing stage 1 load shedding at 11 p.m. last night until 5 a.m. this morning, Eskom announced last night that stage 2 load shedding would again be implemented from 5 a.m. this morning. The highly indebted power utility said the drop to stage 1 overnight was due to the return of service from some generating units that had been delayed. It also wanted to manage emergency generation reserves and identify risks to the power system. Eskom said further updates would be communicated today. And we move beyond our own borders, where the internet community celebrated an important birthday this weekend. Wikipedia has turned 20. On the 15th of January in the year 2001, two American entrepreneurs, Jimmy Wales and Larry Sanger, launched an online encyclopedia. It was called Wikipedia, and currently Wikipedia is the 15th most popular destination on the web, is available in 316 languages, and is visited by 1.7 billion visitors every month. And with 56 million articles and 3 billion edits, it's indeed where everyone from students to politicians to, yes, journalists turn for a quick briefing on any subject. And staying with news abroad, Uganda's main opposition presidential candidate, Bobi Wine, says his life is being threatened following Thursday's election, which saw Yoweri Museveni win a 6th elected term. The singer-turned-politician told the media that he rejected the results. He alleged there had been many irregularities, but Museveni called it Uganda's fairest ever vote. Campaigning had been marred by violence in which dozens of people died. Just ahead of voting day, the government shut down the internet, a move condemned by election monitors. And now news of characters that have brought joy to millions. Tintin and his dog Snowy have entertained young and old across the world by almost a century. The Adventures of Tintin, the world-famous comic series, was first created in 1929 by Belgian cartoonist Hergé and is composed of 24 albums. Tintin and Snowy remain so popular that an original painting by Hergé has just been sold for a record almost 59 million rand. The illustration was painted using gouache ink watercolor and shows Tintin and his dog Snowy hiding from a dragon in a porcelain jar. It was initially intended to serve as the cover of Hergé's 5th book, The Blue Lotus, but was rejected due to reproduction costs. A simplified version of the illustration was later used instead. The Blue Lotus was first published in 1936 and sees Tintin travel to China during the 1931 Japanese invasion. The sale broke the previous record for the sale of a comic book art set by another Hergé artwork in 2015. The 2-page illustration, which dated back to 1942, then sold for an astonishing 49 million rand. Well, on that note, that's where I leave your morning headlines. I'll have a final update at 8 o'clock.
Thanks so much, Zoe. Now, hoping to make their mark on history, the Springbok women stepped up their preparations for the 2021 Rugby World Cup with a training camp in Stellenbosch last week. The Rugby World Cup will be hosted in New Zealand from the 18th of September to the 16th of October. South Africa in a tough group. They will face England, France and debutants Fiji in Pool C. Springbok women's coach Stan Robenheimer and his management invited 24 players to their training camp, and then another 16 players will be joining the group in March. Lots of football to sink our teeth into this weekend in match day 11 of the 2020-2021 Premier Soccer League season. So Kaizer Chiefs resurgent. They are back on track, making it 2 wins in a row. That was after beating Cape Town City 2-1. And it was a bad day at the office for our defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns, who dropped points with a goalless draw against their Tshwane rival SuperSport United. Swallows FC sit level on points with log leaders Sundowns. That was after claiming a 1-0 win over Baroka FC. And then Black Leopards, they got the shock of the weekend, beating Orlando Pirates 2-0 at the Tondo Stadium. This was the second loss for the Buccaneers this season. Then a little further afield, Manchester United remain at the top of the English Premier League standings after a 0-0 draw against Liverpool at Anfield. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Red Devils remain 3 points clear of the defending champions at the top of the log. In other results, Tottenham Hotspur, they beat bottom of the log Sheffield United 3-1. Chelsea edged out a spirited Fulham 1-0, and Manchester City, they thrashed Crystal Palace 4-0 in the late game. There'll be just one Premier League fixture tonight. It's an important one for Arsenal. They face Newcastle United at 10 p.m. That's where we leave our sport for this hour. Let's get another update on the weather fronts.
Thank you, Graham. And we'll also start by looking at your beautiful sunrise photos. We love seeing how you start your day wherever you are, and you certainly have pulled through with these gorgeous pictures. Alan Rudnicki sent through this picturesque shot from the V&A waterfront in Cape Town, showing off the morning sun reflecting in the ocean. If you're in Cape Town today, expect another warm day ahead with a maximum of 28 degrees forecasted with a whole bunch of sunshine. Please stay hydrated and safe and wear your sunblock. Another photo that came through from one of our regulars, Ntokozo Theo Makatini, sent us this stunning sunrise from Johannesburg. Expect a warm 28 degrees Celsius if you are in Joburg today. Now, if you'd love to be featured on our Sunrise segment, simply head on over to the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page and share what your part of the country looks like this morning. Now, some news. Indonesia's Mount Semeru erupted this weekend, spewing ash and smoke an estimated 5.6 kilometers into the sky above Java, the country's most densely populated island. No casualties have so far been reported, but the National Disaster Agency has warned villagers living on the mountain slopes to be alert for continued volcanic activity. Meanwhile, rescuers are racing to find anyone still alive under the rubble of a flattened hospital as the death toll from a powerful earthquake on Indonesia's Sulawesi island has leaped to at least 73. Indonesia sits on the so-called Pacific Ring of Fire, where tectonic plates regularly collide, causing frequent volcanic activity as well as earthquakes. We wish them all of the best of luck, and we'll keep you updated with regards to that story. Meanwhile, if you are in Polokwane, let's look at your temperatures. Expect a low of 17 with a high of 26. Mbombela 17 reaching a high of 28. If you're in Pretoria, partly cloudy conditions reaching a high of 30. Johannesburg 14 with a high of 28. Partly cloudy in Mahikeng with a high of 30. Klerksdorp 18 reaching a high of 32. Sunny conditions in Kimberley with a high of 33. Bloemfontein 17 reaching a high of 30. Some rain can be expected in Richards Bay today, 20 and a high of 27. Wet conditions in Pietermaritzburg, 16 reaching a high of 25. Rainy conditions for Durban with a high of 26. Cloudy in Mthatha with a low of 15, a high of 25. Clouds can be expected in East London today with a high of 24. Sunny conditions in Cradock, a low of 16 with a high of 34. Port Elizabeth 19 reaching a high of 25. George 17 with a high of 25. If you are in Cape Town today, expect a low of 18, a high of 28. Sunny conditions in Worcester, a low of 15 reaching a high of 37. Sunny in Sutherland today with a high of 32, and Uppington also a hot day expected with a low of 22 and a high of 37 degrees Celsius. Well, that's where I leave your weather for now on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Well, the feel good is going to continue to flow this morning. We've been gushing a little bit over Dano Peterson, who is going to be attempting to break a world record, I think, for the longest uninterrupted drumming and percussion session. And if anyone can do it, he's got to do it. I hope he has the stamina. I know he's got a whole fitness routine.
He's got to go beyond like 12 hours at the least.
Completely. But I mean, I roped him into one of my kind of meal packing campaigns when he was like a tiny little dude.
Oh, yeah?
He was a young boy, and already then people were like, oh my word, he is a child protege, undoubtedly. But to see where he is now, this well-rounded, great young guy, lecturing music at UCT, just so proud, so glad that we get to be a part of his life journey, never mind breaking a world record, but the fact that like every 2-3 years we've been able to feature one of his milestones.
And he's just, milestones are stepping up. But how cool it is that here on Expresso we can link up with anybody anywhere in the world, and we're going to do just that. So stick around as we join them live for that performance on crushing that world record. Good luck, guys.
Cheers,
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, on this Monday morning. We have some celeb news from the weekend that we would love to share with you.
Yes, some international celebs. We start off with Kim Kardashian wanting to move on from Kanye West. Now, when reports first surfaced that the A-list couple were calling it quits, a source close to Kim Kardashian said she is focused on keeping her kids healthy and also happy and wants them to have a good relationship with their dad. Now, a second source says that Kim is worried about the effect a permanent split may have on, of course, North, Saint, Chicago, and Salmon. Now, I'm not just saying random things. These are their kids' names. Yes, it is. And she's also asking others for advice on how to do this. But for the past few months and even longer, trying to be a normal family has been challenging and frustrating. She wants to move on. Kim is over Kanye's chaos. They're just now on the same page when it comes to their future as a family together. With this story, I think kudos to both of them for being so mature about this and saying, you know what, it's time for us to split, but let's do it in a place where we can think about the kids, because that's the main thing right here, is that there are kids involved, they're little ones, and so they're doing it in their own space. I think that everyone should just let them figure it out.
I like the notion of the fact that you're talking about, let's think about the kids, and I love that. My only concern is that from day one, none of these kids have had a normal childhood, they haven't had a normal family, they haven't had a normal upbringing. Why are you trying to start now? This is not a normal family, so you can't treat this like a normal situation. That's my only concern when it comes to the chaos of the Kim K's. You know what I mean? I don't know if you feel me on that one.
I definitely do, yeah. Well, hopefully it's not messy. I think at the moment things are still at least calm. There hasn't been much reports, and hopefully it stays that way. So I can't imagine anything worse than a messy divorce. But on a happier note, I don't know if you guys follow Emma Roberts on Instagram.
Oh, yeah?
Well, she is Julia Roberts' niece, and Emma Roberts has welcomed a baby boy with her husband, Garrett Hedlund, in December, and she recently just posted a picture of the 2-week-old baby, and she says she is gushing over, and his name is Rides Robert Hedlund, calling him her bright light. She also posted this photo to Instagram. Both mom and son, they are matching in orange. It's absolutely adorable, and it's going to be so beautiful to see her motherhood journey unfold.
Flooding our timelines with cuteness this morning. I'm like, yeah,
we need the cuteness.
It's really cool. I think you can almost like draw inspiration from something like that. Like if you happen to have a kid that's maybe a little bit younger, you don't have one yet, here's a cool little timeline to replicate. I think everything they're doing is quite cool.
Are you trying to say something? Are you feeling a bit moody this morning?
No. Slow your roll. But now, lastly, we've got something quite cool here. Bruce Willis, our diehard fan, he told he was leaving a pharmacy after refusing to wear a mask.
Ooh.
Now, according to E! News, upset shoppers reported the actor after entering a pharmacy without a mask. And when an employee requested he cover his mouth and nose with the green bandana he had around his neck, he gave her a somewhat disgruntled look, and instead he just left the shop. Interesting stuff. Now, stars have been slammed, and the 65-year-old actor is commenting and saying really about that diehard brand. He has since obviously spoken about the backlash, calling his actions an error in judgment. I like the fact that he's actually coming through and apologizing after that. Like I said, you know, we don't understand the amount of pressure that like these celebs in that spotlight are really going through, and it's easy to make a mistake.
It's been a year of having to wear masks.
I guess.
Like, I feel like he's been living under a rock. Like, he has been like, you know, in his own little bubble.
I guess you're right. I actually can't defend it. You're right.
And also, who do you think you are? Just because you're a celebrity, you don't think Rona's coming for you? Rona will come for everybody, whether you're a diehard fan, whether you're... Rona's going to come for you, okay, everybody?
Well, there you have it. Some interesting and light news for your Monday morning as we just take a look at the world of entertainment.
Now, when it comes to families living in the world of entertainment, a normal family they are not, because they've had a child prodigy in their midst, but they've still managed to create an incredible family model around young Dano Peterson. And now Danny and his son Dano are about to attempt something truly remarkable.
Into us, Graham. Graham, thank you very much. Yes, I am still coming to you live from Johannesburg at the Academy of Sound Engineering here in Johannesburg, where we are getting to experience the sounds of Danny and Dano Peterson. The message is quite clear. It's all about the importance of fathers and the role that fathers play in the development of children and in building communities. But it's also about really just highlighting the plight of the many people out there, especially the frontline workers who have lost their lives during this time, but also all of the people out
out there who are not able to work and earn during this time. You can go onto danodramaboy.com. Check that out, all the information for which they are preparing this performance, which will be on the 30th of Jan. Right now, though, gents, you have been waiting, and the country has been waiting to take it all in. Take it away.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, come on, elevating the spirit on a Monday morning here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
That's how you get up.
Are in the house. We're on the roof of the Academy of Sound Engineering, and this is just really a taste of what you can expect when you live stream on danodramaboy.com come the 30th of Jan. All of this for such a fantastic cause. Guys, my spirit is buzzing, it's vibrating, and I'm sure you got so many people just banging tables at home as well. Send us pictures of yourselves doing that. In the meantime, connect with us on our Facebook page, Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. One more performance coming your way.
Thank you.
Now I think we just need to sign up to be dancing with them for 12 hours while they achieve that world record. One more performance, as he said, coming your way. But right now I think we've worked up a bit of an appetite. Let's head back to the kitchen.
So much fun in the studio. We definitely have worked ourselves up an appetite. And G, I think you are thinking of an absolutely brilliant idea. Can you guys imagine Tapiso dancing along to that world record while the Danny and Danos are drumming along? But let's move over, as we did indeed build up an appetite already on the show. Now, as far as individual ingredients go, chocolate and avocados are possibly two of the most loved ones, well, the most loved foods that you can get in the kitchen, I'd say. So what many people don't know is that you can actually combine these two ingredients to create a dense, fudgy, chocolatey treat. You heard correctly. Now, combined with the goodness of locally sourced canola oil, the much-loved avocado shows its naughty side in these delicious Be Well choc hazelnut desserts. And Anthony's out here to show us how the goods are delivered.
The naughty side of the avocado. That's what it's about on a Monday morning. Yeah, baby, good, man.
I'm so excited because I'm only recently discovering all the cool things that you can do with avo, man.
I mean, they're very, very versatile, yeah.
Yeah, creamy. It's got that like beautiful fat flavor and feel.
For sure.
I mean, what else could you want from a plant? Yeah.
Well, what do you want? Like I was telling you off air, what you want to do is actually scoop them out and then freeze them.
Yeah.
And then blend them into your milkshake. Gives it that sort of ice creamy sort of feel as well, which is quite a vibe.
Going to do that. So what are we doing today?
So, yeah, this is a very, very simple recipe yet again. It's basically, and it's vegan as well. So our bananas are our egg substitute. So it's basically a vegan chocolate brownie that we're going to bake. Yet again, like you said, the avocado and the chocolate are good friends. So it's super, super simple. You just grab your blender like this.
Quick
or
question.
You could use like a food processor of sorts.
That's like thick and creamy. Why add a banana?
Banana's the egg substitute for the thingy, yeah.
So that's keeping it vegan.
Yeah, that's keeping it vegan, yeah.
I got you.
So that's our egg substitute. So we just scoop your nice ripe avos into there. And yet again, all we're going to do is make a nice sort of puree here so that we can add that to our dry ingredients. So our dry ingredients are just some flour, some baking powder, some salt, and some cocoa powder there as well, sort of re-enhancing our sort of chocolate flavor there. So we're going to pop a bit of sugar in there as well. We're going to pop a bit of sugar in there. Some vanilla essence, which is quite, quite nice as well, all that sort of stuff. Bit more sweetness there. We've got some maple syrup. Now you could roll with some honey or anything like that. And then,
it's like a dessert simple. Already, man. You haven't even mixed it up.
Yeah, for sure, man. So, yeah. Hang on. Forgot the ingredient.
Oh, of course. Be Well coming through.
Of course, the Be Well coming through there. So that's also going to.
It's pretty cool the fact that we've got such good, like I would say, plant-based fats
big
here,
time,
man. You've got omega-3s in that.
For sure.
You've got the avo and you've got the banana and everything else. Oh,
it's all good.
Good stuff.
It's all good. And then just pop that in there.
Look how thick that is, eh?
Yeah.
Give it a little shake. Work it through.
Yeah.
Oh, that is looking good. That is looking good.
Yeah, like I said, all we want is that nice puree there. Boom, boom, boom. So we've got our flour there. We've got our oven preheated at 180. We've got our baking tin line there with some parchment paper just so that it slips out nice and easy. Of course, always salt with your chocolate is the vibe. So we're going to
just mix that up.
Take our... I mean, this is a pretty thick milkshake if you're going to drink that.
I was just going to ask you, Anthony, do you think, I know there was quite a mission, do you think it's possible to create something like this if you didn't have a blender? Could you do it by hand?
You could do it by hand, yeah. I mean, you can really just sort of, just mix it in. You could just basically sort of put all those ingredients in and mix them. You don't need the sort of super, super smooth sort of slurry, as we call it. But it does give the final product a bit more of a sort of delicate finish.
Yeah, man, and obviously, again, I just got to mention the fact that we've got Be Well canola oil, locally produced. Be Well is, of course, naturally cholesterol-free, which is absolutely awesome. And it's low in saturated fat, and of course, also includes a high amount of omega-3, which is always, always good for the body. So it's endorsed by the Heart and Stroke Foundation of South Africa, and that's every single reason you need to make your dessert tick the box of health, too. Yeah, so what are you throwing in there next?
We've got some nuts going in. We've got hazelnuts going in there. You can use your favorite nut. You can go macadamia nut, peanut, whatever you like.
Okay.
And then, again, it's really just about sort of folding it through. We don't want to work the glutens in the flour too much, otherwise the brownie is going to be stretchy. So you just pop that through, and I mean, you can see it's a beautiful consistency now.
Sorry, I got to ask you, Anthony. You mentioned don't stir it around too much?
Yeah, don't stir it too much, because then you work that gluten in the flour.
Okay.
And what we want is that nice sort of real... Then we're going to get in with a more sort of like a sort of biscuity style sort of texture. But if you don't work it too much, you get that real nice sort of
And imagine this is also the part where you've got to try and fend off your kids if you have.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
you're going to be stealing this batter.
There's some serious bowl licking going on with this one.
Oh, that looks good.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a perfect little... What's that perfect little treat? You know, you can cut them up into little pieces. You can cut them up into sort of bigger pieces. You could just, bang it in the middle of the table and let everyone enjoy obviously that goes in the oven then for at least sort of 30, 45 minutes. 30? Until it comes out nice and clear. And there you go, baby.
Bob's your uncle, man. That is so easy.
So you get a
so
real
awesome.
nice.
I've got to taste
you
one
don't
of
want
these.
You want that real nice. You can add a little chocolate ooze there as well.
Oh man, you've tempted me enough now. Look at that, moist.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's warm still.
Yeah.
And this is the best reason for a brownie, man. Thank you
Why
so
not,
much,
man?
Neil Anthony, guys.
Rock and roll.
You want to get yourselves
Get involved.
You want to get yourselves one of these for sure. Yes, please. Thank you, my man. I'm taking the bowl with me.
Be well, love, food, life. Are you ready for a sizzling summer holiday in Mzansi? Your best holiday is yet to come when you book at any participating Marriott branded hotel. Redefine your holiday with a beach break, nature retreat, or a road trip adventure. With the Marriott summer holiday offer, you can enjoy 25% off standard hotel rates, including free breakfast if you're a Marriott Bonvoy member and 15% if you're a non-Bonvoy member. Book on Marriott.com for the best rates guaranteed.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso on SABC3. I think a lot of us are dying to travel, but due to COVID-19, all of our travel plans have, for the foreseeable future, been put on hold. It's been a bit derailed, but that hasn't stopped travel blogger Sharon Waugh from traveling all around the world and visiting some of the world's most well-known destinations and locations, all within the confines of her own home. And she's been recreating some of the most Instagrammable travel poses to help her followers get ready for when they can travel again. And Sharon, she's joining us this morning via Zoom. Good morning, Sharon. Morning.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing? Oh, we're having some technical difficulty.
Sorry.
Oh, there
Can
we
you
go.
hear us now?
I had no sound, but now I can hear you, yes.
Hey,
fantastic.
awesome. So we actually have quite a cool connection because Sharon and I both worked for the cruise lines, and when Sharon announced that she'll be on Expresso, so many of our ship buddies were reaching out to me like, Sharon's going to be on the show. So hello, ship friend, how are you?
It's nice to finally meet you, ship friend.
I know. And you've created such a good platform for you to still be able to travel, because I mean, obviously you have sea legs, waking up in a different country every single day. But this, what you've created now, has been such a good way to cope with not only just being able to travel, but also put yourself out there. It looks like a lot of fun. Tell us all about the blog that you created.
So yes, it was while I was working on the cruise ships. I think we even had the same job. We were both entertainment staff. But it was while I was there that I started my own travel blog. And then, yeah, when Corona happened, I needed something to write about. And so I wrote a blog about how to cope with lockdown for the travel obsessed. And I took these photos to kind of demonstrate what I was talking about when I was suggesting that people practice their travel poses. And yeah, it's gone viral in about 30 countries, which is pretty crazy. I never anticipated that happening.
That is incredible. I mean, just looking at the pictures you've recreated, some creativity, it is unbelievable. And I mean, I'm just looking, you have had the opportunity to travel to about 57 different countries. Now, I can only imagine this lockdown must have been particularly challenging for you. How's it, if I may ask, how have you been managing to cope?
Well, I mean, travel is not just my passion, it has been my livelihood, so it has been tough. But I have my health, I have a roof over my head, so I'm not complaining. I think a lot of people have it a lot worse off than me.
And how have, like, you know, just the people around you responded to this project of yours? I mean, your friends, your family, the ship family, have they been tuning in? Have they been keeping up with Sharon for the most part?
Yes, I mean, my family's been pretty useless. I thought they'd be more helpful, but I think I've had help with about 2 photos. But I think for me, and I'm totally bragging here, it's been exciting to see how strangers have responded to my pictures. Some people have taken inspiration from them and created their own like staycation photos and tagged me in it, and it's exciting to see. I also saw myself in a Russian TV insert where I think the guy was challenging their viewers to create their own staycation pictures, but then my Russian's terrible, so who knows? But it's just been exciting to see how different people from different parts of the world, and I'm totally bragging, but how they've responded to my photos.
Oh, you're allowed to brag. I mean, I'm looking at these pictures and it's just so fun. I feel like recreating some of my old travel pics. Now, I know you said your blog was all about surviving lockdown. How have you, apart from creating these fun videos, how are you keeping yourself busy and sane?
Consuming a lot of carbs. I made a couch cushion fort at the beginning and I just hid in there for a while. I also bought one of those plastic push bikes that I drive around my flat. So we all have our ways of coping. I'd like to try cat hair felting, which is when you like take cat hair and you make little cat hats. And you make hats for cats out of their own hair. I'm sounding like a crazy person. Maybe I should stop talking.
I'm a cat lady. I've never heard of that. So
I'm just going to say, now the two of you can definitely sit down with something like that. But I can also just imagine that you're already planning your next trip when it's, of course, safe to travel again. 57 countries, you want to put that 58th country on the bucket list. But where is next on the map?
There are so many places I want to go. I accumulated a lot of friends in Colombia in my ship years, so I'd really like to go visit them. And then I'm dying to go to Southeast Asia. I haven't been anywhere there. And then even closer to home, like I'd like to go to the Eastern Cape. It doesn't seem like the best idea right now, but I've never seen the Bathurst pineapple, and I just feel like it's one of South Africa's most underrated landmarks, and I need to go see it. So that's definitely on the bucket list.
Oh, I love that you have local destinations in mind for your bucket list, which is always so special. I know a lot of people, when they think traveling, they just want to go abroad, but we have so much beauty to explore. So thank you, Sharon, for inspiring us to really explore and create our own landmarks at home to survive this lockdown, and all the best for you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, there we go, Sharon Wall, sharing her unique story with us. And if you perhaps have an interesting travel photo that you would love to recreate, why don't you share it with us on the Expresso social media pages? We're on Facebook, Instagram, as well as Twitter, and you can find us at Expresso Show.
Yes, indeed. And you can find a whole host of travel inspiration on our social media platforms right now. This morning, Ron and I put it to you to share with us where your favorite holiday destination in South Africa is. And we've had some fantastic suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, I know we were bantering earlier about, I think we agreed Eastern Cape was something definitely on the bucket list.
For sure.
But you, of course, came through with the magic. And we're starting off with Selane Palesa, who says, good morning, Expresso Show. I would love to go to Namakwaland. That's up the west coast, Orange River, Namibia, beautiful landscape indeed.
Landscapes, yeah, for sure. Then Russell, at Russell PA, saying, with this pandemic, my favorite destination of all time is my lounge. Before the pandemic, the garden route topped it for me, the friendliest people and the most awesome weather. We've both done kind of garden route recently.
Yeah,
I love it.
I keep going back and there's still something more that just tickles my fancy. Nick Lombard's in the building, our top fan. We had an opportunity to chat to him this morning, of course, sharing all the good stuff with us. A 10-year fan from day one. And he says, good morning, hashtag Expresso Show Legends. I think Neisner would be my favorite place as a holiday destination. You been to Neisner, G?
I have, man. I've spent a lot of time filming there. Absolutely love it. I've done absolutely everything you can do on the garden route, and Neisner really does stand out for me.
Guide.
Also found out there that I was going to be having Jack, my little baby boy. So for me, that also really stands out for me. Talwando Valam saying, good morning, family. Team, my favorite holiday, King William's 20 I'm in Port Elizabeth. But she's got like, we're not going to send you there. If you, it's like this please hand. Like we're going to send you there. We're not giving away a holiday. I'm so sorry, man, if we gave you that impression. No, we're just wanting to hear from you guys what your favorite holiday destination in this beautiful country is. Keep letting us know on Expresso Morning Show, our Facebook page, and at Expresso Show is the handle to always use on any of our platforms.
Here's to you, can't work from home workers. Bo Terminator, cause every meeting key, I'll be back. The mask forgetting shoppers. Hi. And you, who go the extra mile instead of keeping just 1.5 meters. To you who opened your doors again, we take our hats off. Nina, who kept us moving, 100%. And of course, there no Mayini general dealers. You might not be essential workers, Mara, you too played an essential role in keeping Mzansi working. And that's why we're giving you a chance to win your share of 5 million rand. Join Nedbank today.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. Now you're still locked in at your Feel Good Breakfast Show on this beautiful Monday. And we are live, of course, and we're crossing over with Tabiso, who's joining in on Danny and Dan O. As I feel like I've got my work cut out for me, though, because they're going to be showing us how to get fit, how to get ready to perform that world record-breaking attempt. Let's check it out.
Oh, Raltamone, you are going to be so proud of me by the end of this. You've been trying to drag me to the gym to do a bit of fitness, right? So I thought, okay, cool. How can I do fitness but still keep it fashion? I bought myself a yoga mat. I've brought my shades. I've brought some gear, and I'm here with Robin Peterson, Dano Peterson, and Danny Peterson. We're going to do the Peterson shake-up. It's what they do, apparently, to get themselves ready for this performance they're going to be giving on the 30th of January. It's, of course, a father and son duo like no other. Robin, you're the sister. You're Dano's sister.
Yes.
You must put him through a lot of workouts then for all of these many hours that he's got to put in when he does his shows.
Yeah, it's very important to, you know, at least stretch out a bit because, you know, the muscles are like very prone to like get injured if they don't like stretch properly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really drill it into them.
Oh, you really did. You're going to put me through the paces as well. How are you getting Dad and your brother ready for the 30th of Jan? Because I mean, they're going to be doing 12 hours. They do need to have some level of fitness, right?
Yes, yeah. So we're gonna be going through some arm stretches, some legs, also kind of working on the core.
Yeah.
But yeah, so mostly focusing on mostly thighs and arms, since they, you know, they're gonna put that through quite through a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get straight into it.
All right, cool.
I did bring this as just for the look.
Yeah.
But, just get away now, just to look like, you know, I know what's happened. Okay, cool. Let's go.
All right, cool. So we're gonna be starting off with some jogging in place for about 30 seconds.
Cool.
So this just gets the blood pumping through. This warms up your legs, your
So this
arms.
is like the Peterson shake up to just get the blood flowing in the morning.
Yes.
It's good for anyone really.
Yes.
Waking up and you just want to, you know, wake your body up. This is it. This is what I do at home as well. Okay, no, I'm lying. I don't. I'm gonna start now. Not today.
Okay, cool. So now we're gonna move on to some torso twists.
Okay.
So we're lifting our leg and twisting to the other side.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically this works out your thighs, once again, your upper body, also your core. Yeah, so it's
you can feel that pressure on your waist, ne? Do you feel it?
Yes. It's
which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also important to start these off slowly, not to focus on speed, because if you do this quite fast, like you, as I said already, you can get injured very easily.
Okay, so it's not about speed, it's about just really getting into it, which I really like, because a workout like this, you can get the seniors also involved with it.
Yes.
I think, you know, our grands and our aunties out there who are watching also able to join in the fun.
Yeah,
it can be quite fun to do with the family.
So now we're moving on to some squats with arm raises. So basically go into squat position and arm raise. There we go. We're doing a few of those. You should really feel it in your thighs, your glutes as well. What's this? If you do have problems with your knees, then you can just do arm raises with like a slight hop. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you go. Okay.
Yeah, you do it a bit most, you know, go from a squat to a jump. That's a bit much.
Pace yourself.
Yeah, pace yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we're moving into hip rotation.
Oh, my favorite from the 80s. If you watched all those TV shows in the 80s, the Expresso versions of the 80s and the 70s, I mean, you know how to imitate those ladies there.
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2. It's all about the hips. Come on, swing your hips. Swing those hips. There you go. Come on. 1, 2. Peterson. Hey, Dano and Danny. Come on. Oh. Okay. Dad, you're getting that swing, and you've done this one too many times, eh?
All right, now we're moving on to our arms. All right, so we're going to be doing some arm circles. There we go. Make sure to alternate it the other way as well. So that...
Can really feel the stretch, eh?
Yeah.
Love it.
All right, cool. Next, we're doing some triceps pulls. Since Daniel and my dad, they're going to be, you know, using their arms quite a lot on the day. So it's very important to stretch out their arms.
Daniel, are you taking notes, mental notes?
Mental notes.
Switch the other side.
Cool.
All right, cool.
This is hectic.
Yeah. No, does she make you do this every
Yeah. And also after
Do you love it?
It's there.
It's there. It's there. It's necessary. It's important for what you have to be doing. What are you particularly excited about? I think when it comes to this particular concept that your dad and your brother are putting together, why is it so important to speak about fatherhood and getting that system and that unit going in the family?
Oh yeah, definitely. I cannot imagine my life without my, you know, father and stuff. Like, for real, the amount of stuff he's done for my family, and I just like wish the same for other people as well. So for them to spread this message is like, it's really important, obviously. So yeah, I'm really proud of like how far they've come and like what they're doing now, obviously. So yeah,
And they're doing it for a good cause as well. They are raising funds. They want you to go onto danodrummerboy.com, go pledge, whether you are pledging or giving a meal voucher, an electricity voucher, groceries, money, whatever it is. The banking details on there. There's so much more information you can get there on how you can get involved. We're going to keep going, and maybe you do the same thing.
Yeah,
Show
join.
us some pictures. Join the fun. Expresso Morning Show, SABC3. What's next?
All right, cool. What's this? Yeah, so now we are going into some...
Wow, I've got to say, Tubbs, I'm very proud of you, but Robin, even more prouder to get that man to move. It takes quite a bit of convincing, but you definitely have worked up an appetite, especially for Mzansi, who's joining us. So let's join G and Clem in the kitchen and see what's cooking.
Someone is engrossed in the daily read. It is the daily difference. It is the Clem. You're the Clem now today, eh?
And you are the daily difference. You're my daily difference.
Am I your
You're my daily difference.
I'll tell you what will be my daily difference, because this has kind of been one of my go-to meals of late. Is a mince. We're going to call it something else. I'd call it a mince wrap, but this is looking like a mince tortilla, a mince quesadilla, a mince whatever it is. We are taking one package of mince and we are spreading it long and wide and thin. The whole family is going to get into it. The kids are going to love it, and the parents are going to get their kicks as well. This looks fantastic, my friend, and it's on the Daily Difference, yeah?
And that's all about getting Woolies exceptional quality at everyday low prices, and it's January. We want to be saving, but the things in Daily Difference, I was just kind of like planning a little shop in my head right now. I'm just going through everything on there. Such amazing products in there. And the mince as well. You want to get cooking?
Do it, my friend, do it. We've got a hungry family to feed.
So on Friday, we made burgers, and I said that you should always cook your burger as you would a steak.
For sure.
And the same goes for mince, because I mean, what a burger is just like mince put together, with some finesse, of course. So when it comes to mince,
I was going to say, you're underselling yourself a little bit.
No, we do good burgers. When it comes to mince, people tend to like, first of all, they break it into tiny little clumps. They put the whole thing in the pan and then they break it up.
Yeah.
You're not going to get the texture that you want.
Really?
And also, mince is very selfish. It doesn't want to share a pan with anything else.
Oh, wow.
So
now
when
you're changing, you're revolutionizing.
Mince is amazing,
my whole understanding of how I cook mince, because I was one of those. I was a breaker-upper, okay? I was the guy who split it all up.
No. Delicate
don't
fingers.
Be shy, okay.
Delicate fingers, and you get like nice little chunks of it, and they just kind of like fluff it apart. And then what's going to happen is it's going to get like a serious crisp on it, and have a bit of a nice high heat in the beginning. You can turn it down, but in the beginning you want that nice heat to really give you that sear.
So there's no onions, there's no garlic.
No.
Nothing in there first. The mince is king. Get him in there.
You start off just with the mince in your pan. Okay, I'm going to put it to the side now. Another thing is, if you want to get the nice brown crust on your mince, you never overcrowd the pan, because then you're going to see that liquid come out.
For
sure. And you're going to start steaming grey mince.
Okay. We don't want it. We want
don't want that.
caramelization. We want the crust.
Yeah.
Okay.
At this stage, you can hit it with a little bit of salt. And this is kind of how you start off your mince for anything. If you're going to make a mince curry, you start it off like this. If you're going to make chili con carne, you start it off like this.
Okay.
We're going to do these little Asian-inspired wraps today, and this is how you do it.
Get the most out of your mince.
So we're going to leave that for a second. We're going to talk about some of the amazing ways to prepare this wrap. We've got the little flour tortillas.
Yeah, those are cute, man. I love that.
They should
bite size.
Yeah, they should live in your freezer, because I mean, you never know when you need, like, young Jack's a little hungry. Whip one of those out. They defrost in like 30 seconds, not even in the microwave, on its own. And you just start building up from there. And what I like about this as well, it's all like little colors and textures. This is a chance for you to make as if you're doing dinner, but you're not.
And you're getting in all of the right nutrients as well, a nice balance as well, but it's also the texture and the flavor.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And Asian food's very much about a balance of sweet, savory, sour, you know, it's all the flavors. We've got a lot of that, so we've got a bit of that sourness coming from our pickled.
You made your own pickle there.
Yeah, exactly. Sweetness from the mango, more sweetness from the carrots, and it's just about building on that. So, and it's also inexpensive. Cucumber, how often does cucumber go off in your fridge? Because you don't get to that last little bit at the end.
So do you? I've got about 5 of those little ones.
Do you?
Okay,
This is what you're going to do with it.
This is how we're going to use it.
Okay, cool. So just kind of break that up again, and it stayed in its chunks. I'm going to leave it now, and now it's going to keep on doing its thing. So what I want to do is I want to add like serious flavor.
Okay.
And ginger and garlic are absolutely amazing with this, because they give you that instant, like, something special is happening.
Yeah, flavor punch.
So we're going to go with a whole little cube of garlic, and then some ginger going in. And
At what point would you say, if you're making a bolognese or you're kind of adding to your mince or making a mince curry, at what point do you know that the mince is ready to start adding the other ingredients?
Okay, what I would do is you literally want to see that golden crust on your mince. So let it just sit and don't be scared. It's like a steak. Like I said, put it in, leave it, let it do its thing. So when you get that golden crust, right, that's when you can either take your mince out and then add your onions or just add your onions to the pan.
Okay.
And you go crazy.
And then
Garlic,
you can
tomato paste,
all
of it. So chili.
Cool. Do it, man.
Yeah. It's Monday. We're trying to like make sure you're nice and healthy, start your week off on the right way.
Someone once told me that chili actually helps your body burn calories while you eat. So that's what I always say to myself. Whenever I put chili in, is that you're helping your body burn calories.
Yes.
I don't even know if that's true. So
I think it's true.
On it, but
I mean, it heats up your... Here's the weird thing as well. Okay, obviously,
like
if it's for your kids, maybe not so much, but this is for you and me. But when it's extremely hot, I mean, like, it's been for the past few days.
Yeah.
And you want to cool your body temperature down, and I'm trying to understand the science behind this. You eat chili.
Yeah, well, because you perspire, and then that cools your body down.
Exactly. It's like when...
Your body's a natural radiator, man.
It's like when it's like 40 degrees and you see people kind of drinking hot tea. I kind of believe it's that theory.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm getting wafts of flavor now coming off that the garlic and ginger.
It's serious. So what I do is I want to glaze. I would let it look like I would cook for like another 5 minutes to really get a crust on the mince, but I'm going to fast forward a bit.
Okay.
I've got this Indonesian sweet soy sauce.
Ooh.
And we've been really talking about umami a lot later. No, not your mommy, not your mommy, umami. Okay?
I've been talking about your mommy on Monday. Air, no, your mommy's a treasure. She's a love.
She's lovely. Okay, this is great. It's nice and sweet again, so kids are going to love it. And it's almost like that little hint of seasoning. People tend to under-season their food, so when you use this, you're just going to add that little touch of seasoning that you actually need. And again, because it's sweet, kids are going to love this. But it's going to give us a serious glaze on our mince.
It is quite syrupy in itself.
It is. Yeah. I love this. You want to glaze a burger with this. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Like our Korean burgers that you made the other day.
I made it on the weekend. I made it on the weekend. It was really, really good.
One bite I had of that monster that you gave me sustained me for the whole weekend. You know that?
Did it?
You know how many people were commenting on social media? Like, I'm thinking of starting a social media platform where I just eat food and people watch me, bro, because so many people got their rocks off watching me eat that burger, bro. It was obviously the most beautiful burger anyone's ever seen.
It was delicious.
It was amazing. You don't understand. It was good.
Okay, you're going to build
what can I do for
you? Know what I want you to do? Actually build it as if you would build this for Jack. So use what you know Jack would like.
Okay.
And so, yeah, make it your own. This is the non-spicy one.
You've got to give me the cucumber because he loves the cucumber.
Please have the cucumber because I can't eat cucumber. So, there we go. A little bit of glaze on the mince. And I'm going to give you a spoon. There we go.
Thank you.
I'm going to build one.
Sanitizer, so I'm going to get in here with my hands and grab a couple of these because, and I like this. I don't know what variant of lettuce this is.
Baby gems.
Baby gem. I love that because it creates. I mean, you could just put the mince in these little pockets if you wanted to just chine on it.
100%. Lettuce cups are so on trend, but also really delicious. Okay. How you doing? You good?
I'm loving it. Jack loves his cucumber. Absolutely loves it. A little bit of carrots. Beautiful.
What I also like about this recipe is that whatever's left over of the mince for tomorrow, you do those toasted sandwiches with the mince. Oh, they're the best. After school, they were the vibe. Okay, so now I'm going to hit it with some of the mince on a spoon, some of the carrots.
It's actually very humorous. Like every now and then I'll give Jack hot sauce or something dirty and then watch him freak out completely. So I'm like a deviant parent, but I'm not going to do that to you today.
I'll do that.
I love you too much. I love you too much.
But I think it's kind of nice for them to kind of get used to eating
mango,
ingredients.
Yeah.
The mango's really good with this one. It's like super, especially when it's cold.
How beautiful does that look, bro?
I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed.
There's color, and love. There's a lot of love.
That's the most important ingredient. Okay.
Cool. And then this recipe you can find at Woolies, woolworths.co.za is where it's all at. Hey, look at that. How beautiful is that?
Love it. Love it.
Munch it, chomp it. And he loves to get messy and he's got to get food all over his face. So this will allow him to do exactly that. Beautiful. And the best part is we got it on Daily Difference, where you can save a huge amount on everyday necessities. And I think this one is great because you can stretch it and every person can get the flavors that they love. You're going to get the textures and, of course, the vital nutrients. Well done.
You got to do that. Just make sure you get like at least half on the wrap.
Sesame Bay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. We just got a teaser of Gospel Mondays from Jared Ricketts. You are in for a treat just after we get, of course, into our official duties.
Of course, you're not going to want to go anywhere. Stick around, but let's find out first of what's happening in the latest with our news.
Well, here's a quick and final look at your national headlines. Data published by the National Association of Automobile Manufacturers of SA shows that there was a steep decline in the sales of motor vehicles in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It says the crippling effects of the pandemic and subsequent lockdown resulted in a decline in new vehicle sales of some 30%. From 536,612 units in 2019 to 380,449 units in 2020. SA entered a recession before the outbreak of COVID-19, which meant middle-class disposable income was already under pressure prior to the lockdown. And staying with local news, KwaZulu-Natal Premier Sihle Zikalala yesterday called on COVID-19 patients to present themselves early to health facilities, saying this would reduce the high demand for ICU beds. This as KZN currently has the highest number of active coronavirus cases in the country with over 62,000. Meanwhile, tributes are pouring in for the late KZN MEC for Transport, Community Safety and Liaison, 63-year-old Becky Ntuli, who has succumbed to COVID-19 in a Durban hospital. And Catholic Archbishop Abel Gabuza of Durban passed after a week battling COVID-19 in the ICU at Hillcrest Hospital. We now move beyond our own borders, where in a major milestone in the fight against deadly diseases, United Nations agencies and humanitarian partners have announced the establishment of a global Ebola vaccine stockpile to help control future epidemics by ensuring timely access to vaccines during outbreaks. The stockpile is stored in Switzerland and vaccines are ready to be shipped for countries for emergency response. An initial 6,890 doses are available for outbreak response, and quantities will be added to take the emergency stockpile to 500,000 doses, the amount recommended by health experts. And the internet community celebrated an important birthday this weekend. Wikipedia turned 20. On 15 January 2001, two American entrepreneurs, Jimmy Wales and Larry Sanger, launched an online encyclopedia. It was called Wikipedia, and currently Wikipedia is the 15th most popular destination on the web, is available in 316 languages and records some 1.7 billion visitors every month. And with 56 million articles and 3 billion edits, it's indeed where everyone from students to politicians to, yes, journalists turn for a quick briefing on any subject. And now some news of a lost frontier that has been conquered. The mountaineering community is extremely excited by the news that one of the last frontiers in their sport has been conquered. A team of 10 Sherpa climbers from Nepal has set a new world record by becoming the first to reach the summit of K2, the world's second highest mountain in winter. K2, which is only 200 meters shorter than Everest, is part of the Karakoram range that straddles the Pakistan-China border. One of only 14 mountains higher than 8,000 meters, is widely considered the most demanding of all in winter. It has long been referred to as the Savage Mountain, a name that struck after US mountaineer George Bell said of his own failed attempts in 1953. He said, "A savage mountain that tries to kill you." Now, mountaineer Nirmal Pooja, a former member of Britain's Special Forces Boat Service, shared an image of the group celebrating their achievement. They said they were so proud to have been part of history for humankind, and to show that collaboration, teamwork and a positive mental attitude can push limits to what anyone feels may be possible. Well, on that positive note, that's where I leave your morning headlines. Let's take one final look at your sport.
Thank you so much. So now with their own mountain to climb, the Springbok women stepped up their preparations for the 2021 Rugby World Cup with a training camp in Stellenbosch last week. The Rugby World Cup will be hosted in New Zealand from the 18th of September to the 16th of October. South Africa are in a tough group. They will face England, France and debutants Fiji in Pool C. Bok women's coach Stan Robenheimer and his management invited 24 players to their initial training camp, and then another 16 players will join the group in March. Then in match day 11 of the 2020-2021 Premier Soccer League season, Kaizer Chiefs certainly back on track. They made it 2 wins in a row. That was after beating Cape Town City 2-1. And it was a bad day at the office for defending champions Mamelodi Sundowns, who dropped points with a goalless draw against their Tshwane rivals SuperSport United. Swallows FC, they were the big winners. They sit level on points with log leader Sundowns after claiming a 1-0 win over Baraka FC. And then the shock result of the weekend, Black Leopards beat Orlando Pirates 2-0 at the Toyondu Stadium. This was the second loss for the Buccaneers this season. Then a little further afield, Manchester United remain at the top of the English Premier League standings. That was after a 0-0 draw against Liverpool at Anfield. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's Red Devils remain 3 points clear of the defending champions at the top of the log. In other results, an impressive performance from Tottenham Hotspur beating Sheffield United 3-1. Chelsea edged out Fulham 1-0, and then Manchester City, they thrashed Crystal Palace 4-0 in the late game. There's going to be one Premier League fixture to look out for tonight, an important one for Arsenal as they face Newcastle United, that one kicking off at 10 p.m. That's where we leave our sport for this morning. Let's take one last look at some of your beautiful sunrise vistas.
Thank you, Graham. Well, let's take a look at those beautiful sunrise pictures. Thank you for sending them through. And here's a quick recap of all of the beautiful ones we have received. Thank you to Aisha Parker from Misty Cliffs in Cape Town for sending through the stunningly moody sunrise. Janine Carey from Durban for this sunny overview of the city. Alan Rudnicki sent this picturesque sunrise of the harbour in Cape Town. And finally, Ntokozo Theo Makatini submitted this image showing off the contrasting colours of Johannesburg's skyline. Now, if you'd love to be part of our sunrise photos every morning, well, head on over to the Expresso Morning Show Facebook page and share what parts of the country it looks like for you. And you can share those sunrise photos with us so that we can show it on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Some quick news regarding the flash floods that took place in the Riet River on Lochval on Saturday led to a family of 6 from Vanderbijl Park being rescued by police search and rescue, the SA Air Force and the NSRI. Police search and rescue managed to safely secure 4 of the 6 residents from the home by wading to them in the swollen river, but an aged couple remained stranded in the home with quickly flooding waters rapidly rising. The NSRI then launched their Discovery Rescue Runner accompanied by police divers with the aim of rescuing the couple from the home, but submerged and semi-submerged lengthy farmland grass hampered their efforts of success. Rescue crews eventually requested help from the SA Air Force and the couple was airlifted to security. The NSRI has cautioned communities alongside rivers and dams in the Vaal River area to be vigilant of flash floods when experiencing heavy downfalls. Well, on that note, let's quickly take a final look at your temperatures. If you're in Polokwane, a low of 17 with a high of 26 can be expected for today. Mpumbela 17, 28. Pretoria 15, reaching a high of 30. Partly cloudy in Johannesburg today with a high of 28. It's partly cloudy in Mahikeng, 19, reaching a high of 30. Klerksdorp 18 with a high of 32. It's sunny in Kimberley with a high of 33. Bloemfontein 17, reaching a high of 30. Rain can be expected in Richards Bay, 20 with a high of 27. Pietermaritzburg 16, reaching a high of 25. Rainy conditions for Durban today with a high of 26. Mthatha 15, reaching a high of 25. Cloudy conditions in East London, a low of 20 and a high of 24. Sunny in Cradock with a high of 34. Port Elizabeth 19, reaching a high of 25. George 17, reaching a high of 25. Sunny conditions in Cape Town with a high of 28. Worcester 15, reaching a high of 37. Sunny conditions in Sutherland 11, reaching a high of 32. And in Uppington, some sunny conditions with a low of 22 and a high of 37 degrees Celsius. Celsius. Well, that's where we leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Let's get into another performance on your Gospel Monday.
Absolutely, and Jared Ricketts is here to serenade us into that second performance. Here he is with You Say. Take it away.
That say I'm not enough. And every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need to know.
Amazing performance for Gospel Mondays, but of course in just a moment we'll also be getting into relation talks with Asher Dulip, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a moment.
welcome back. You're still locked in, of course, it's your feel-good breakfast show. And now, as the world effectively shut down last year, many aspects of our lives had to change, and that includes dating and relationships. Now, it's Monday, and that means we're talking about all things relationships. And today we're asking, how will 2020 have an impact on dating trends in 2021? Now, clinical psychologist Asha Dulab is here today to help us discuss this. And we're taking questions and comments via our Facebook page. And of course, you can phone into our studio line, and that's using the number 021-110-5552. So do not hesitate to connect with us. Asha, it's always good having you in the studio. How are you doing this morning?
I'm well. So good to be talking about dating in 2021, because 2020 really saw a lot of people go the virtual way. It was so quick to just download an app, swipe right, swipe left, and make a connection like that. Is that the trend we're going to be seeing for the rest of 2021, or what can we expect when it comes to dating this year?
I think we're certainly in the digital age. Love is in the air, pinging between our cyber towers and our Wi-Fi signals. I think that the trend is really moving towards virtual dating. I think that virtual dating was always there prior to lockdown and the pandemic, but now it's just amplified. People were forced to go online. And the World Wide Web has been the global brain, but I think now it's actually about it's embracing the global heart. The global heart, meaning let's connect with intention, with compassion, with respect, and with vulnerability and courage. And we're doing this online in our new digital age.
Yeah. So let's speak about this new digital age. And being online can be very overwhelming. I have mixed responses when I chat to friends and peers about their experiences. But what is the main difference when it comes to building a relationship and building that connection in a close proximity in person versus this new world of being online? What is that difference like?
Sure, so we connect very much with our senses. So when it comes to online virtual dating, I think that it's a bit limited because we only have the sense of our sight, the visual, and we have obviously the voice, and vocalization and the tone of voice is quite important. That's how we do connect. But then when we are meeting someone in proximity in real life, we've got other senses that come into play. I mean, even just the sense of smell is very important. And obviously that blend in energy, and what's very important is the sixth sense. And that's what we really need to connect with when we're trying to connect with someone, because then we will know something feels comfortable, something doesn't feel comfortable, and that's what we really need to get in touch with. So our senses play a very, very important role.
I think with this apps now, it also allows for a slower dating process, because it's not like, let's meet up, let's connect, let's get all the senses working. So now it allows for more meaning conversations, deeper connections before, but also when it comes to these apps, you're actually finding out what you like before making that commitment, because already you've swiped right, you've seen how the person physically looks, so ticks my boxes. Now let's understand if we have a connection. Is this what's happening now?
Yes, there's a great new trend called slow dating that's happening, which means that people are looking for much more deeper connections, deeper conversations. And the pandemic has brought this about because with the pandemic, we are talking about deeper issues. We're talking about loss, about isolation, about grief, about death, about our fears. And those are real, deep, authentic stuff. So it's moved from being superficial to much more deeper. And the trend is that people are looking for that because it connects us so much more deeply, far more quicker. So it's taking it slow, getting to know each other, and then looking forward to meeting physically in real life.
Yeah. Well, look, it's not all just tech that's currently trending at the moment, and this is where my heart just kind of spikes up a bit, and I smile because I'm seeing a massive trend now also with outdoor and adventurous dates. So I'm seeing not only online dating apps to be popular, but also dates have been taken to new spaces. Is there a benefit to this? Is this a good idea, or is it too much too soon?
Oh, I love the idea of bringing together the outdoor nature, and I think people are getting out to the outdoors. I mean, nature boy yourself. I mean, it's combining that physical activities with nature. I mean, people are hiking, they're walking, they're exploring far more, and of course, it's quite an exhilarating experience. I think partners are training together, which is supportive of each other. They can set goals together, and of course, being physically in nature just brings about all the happy, good hormones and chemicals in our bodies, that the feel-good hormones when we are trained together. So couples that sweat together, You know, stay together.
Oh,
Couples that
hell
play
no.
together,
Oh,
stay
hell
together.
no. I'm not trying to go up the mountain with Sweaty and my man, or my crush is sitting next to me. No, girl trying to look cute out here.
Can I just say on that note, I appreciate that and I love that, but maybe you can advise her, would it not be a good idea to encourage rawness, the fact that you
Can
don't...
I go with a face beat up the
Yeah,
mountain?
like you don't need to go up with makeup, like the fact that you can do something together should go beyond that physical box that gets ticked initially, unless it's a first date, of course. So, I don't know,
Yeah,
interesting.
I think we need to get real. I think that, you know, we spend so much time focusing on trying to be perfect in our looks, in our bodies, and it's about that realness, because when you are with your partner and you wake up in the morning with them, they're going to see you as real as you can be. So, yeah, the masking, we need to move away from and become more authentic.
I like that. Well, of course, Asha, it's always good chatting to you, and we will be chatting some more about the relationship advice that you need in 2021. But before we kick off with that, let's find out what's happening with the rest of the team.
Yep, we're going to be crossing live to Johannesburg one more time. Of course, young Dano Peterson and his dad, Danny, they're going to be attempting on the 30th of Jan a world record.
That's going to be exciting. And Tabiso, he is live in Johannesburg. Let's connect with him.
What a time, what a time. And if I don't return back to Cape Town for the show, you know, I found a new home and I found a brand new exciting career in music. Welcome back to it. We're in Johannesburg at the Academy of Engineering, where Dano and Danny Peterson are getting ready for their big spectacle extravaganza of the performance. It's happening on the 30th of Jan. You don't want to miss it. DanoDrummerBoy.com is where all of that information can be found. But guys, the amount of preparation it must take to put something like that together, I mean, it's incredible.
It is. It's incredible because we're going to have a concert, so we're going to have live musicians joining us. So guys, you're going to see different genres of South African music coming in, different musicians every hour going in. But most importantly, we want to bring healing on that day, one beat at a time. So at home, wherever you are, we're going to have an hour where we're going to drum. South Africa, we're going to drum together. So you're going to drum with us. So whether you have a bucket, a pot, or a spoon, or anything,
a wooden spoon,
we're going to have an hour where you all grab something and play with us.
I love that. Listen, it takes a community, of course, to be able to put something like this together. You're not just doing this alone. You are doing this. You're involving so many other players in the music industry, so many other musicians. So it's 12 hours, yes, not just of the two of you playing, but you've got many other musicians of many different genres as well. But it's also people like the ATV, Academy of Television and Screen Arts, who you're seeing over here, are these engineers who are all a part of the industry as well, who are helping bring this magic together.
Also, their students.
Students as well. There's so much that is involved. But you're going to play us out with your one final performance, guys. What are you calling this one, and what is it about?
It's this tune we're actually going to play. It's original by myself. I wrote it. And it's called Sunrise. And it's perfect because the sun is not coming out. But it's definitely something like a coffee to wake you up.
Sunrise.
And I hope you guys enjoy it, man.
I love it. Well, Dano and Danny Peterson, take it away.
Thanks for having us, guys. Love you.
I had to when I said it on track. Sure. it. I love it. I love it. And this could keep on going. It could absolutely keep on going. But you are going to have to stream live on danodrummerboy.com when the 30th of Jan hits. But of course, just to reiterate those details once again, Danny and Dano, on how people can get involved and support this cause. Let's talk about it. Yes, you can play it.
Well, go on our social networks.
Yeah.
Go on our website, danodrummerboy.com. Even if it's meal vouchers that you're going to help us with, money, donate. The banking details is on our website. Places, corporates, individuals, broadcasters, groups, mining houses, everyone.
Everyone. Who does it all go to? Who does it all go to benefit, Danny?
Yes, this is going to benefit everybody in the entertainment field. You know, musicians, singers, dancers, you know, sound engineers, everybody that didn't earn an income due to income. You know, that nobody can earn an income due to lockdown.
COVID,
but as well, you know, frontline workers, you know, the families that were severely affected by, you know, by the loss of COVID. And, you know, we just want to say thank you for all your efforts, and we appreciate you, and we see you, and, you know, a lot of these unheard voices, unsung voices that, you know, they need to be heard.
I love that.
And
you guys are doing a great job just giving this platform and creating this experience so that those people are able to benefit from this. Thank you very much for your time today. You guys have such massive hearts, and I hope that the South African public watching Expresso right now are all going to be pouring in with all of their kindness.
We love you.
Expresso Morning Show, SABC3 will keep all of those details there as well. It's been a good time. Thank you very much for connecting with us. I will see you tomorrow back in Cape Town when I join the team in studio. But guys, from the rest of us here in Johannesburg, we love you. Cheers.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Oh, it looks like they had a lot of fun, and I don't know if Tabisa's going to come back, because he was really just jiving there and having the best. Well, Danny and Dano Peterson, be sure to support them. That website, once again, is danodrummerboy.com.
And then after the break, love is in the air. We are dating online. Stick around.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It's Monday, so we're talking all things relationships. And today we're asking, how will 2020 have an impact on dating trends in 2021? Well, we're back with clinical psychologist Asha Dulab to unpack this topic. And we're also being joined by our tech and gaming guru, Grant Hines, and his beautiful girlfriend, Amber Barnard. So do weigh in with your questions and comments on our Facebook page and our studio line, which is 021-110-555-2. So good to have you with us this morning,
Guys, the purpose of this is to make Grant feel feel as uncomfortable and awkward as we possibly can. So any questions you have? No, great to connect with both of you. We obviously have met you before, so great to have you here, Amber, as well. Actually, I'm gonna ask you this because maybe we can ask them to elaborate as dating app users, but more often than not, you are judging on a person's profile picture, that very first impression, which might be wrong, or maybe there's a psychological tick there that you need to have a physical kind of connection, that chemistry from the get-go. How do you feel about those first impressions on a dating website, and why are they so important?
I think it's very important because we are visual as human beings, and it's all about the physical experience because it's about the attraction. We want to be attracted to the person that we potentially want to date. So it's first the attraction, which then leads to infatuation. So obviously physical appearance is important, but we all know that it's much more to that. Once we start engaging, we want the whole holistic picture where we can really feel that we can communicate and blend with the person. But it does start there.
Grant, I'm going to come to you now because obviously you guys have been dating for 6 months and you met on a site. When you first swiped right or first saw Amber's profile picture, did you immediately think like this would be a connection? After, did you think that, you know what, I actually want to take it away from this and maybe know her on a better level?
Well, we used an app called Hinge, which is more text-driven. So there were some pictures, and obviously she's gorgeous, and there were some pictures, but she had some text that really grabbed my eye. She put out a challenge to go like name a couple of movies that, you know, that I haven't seen before, and I was like, I'll take that challenge. so I just like spewed a bunch of movies. She's like, nope, seen him. And then that's how we connected. So we just started a conversation like that, kind of organically.
And we've seen that continue in your kind of social media coverage of your relationship. You guys are often, when you're streaming, she's there, she's featuring. When you're playing, you guys obviously share a common interest. Amber, I've got to ask you, this is a different time to be getting into a relationship. Do you think you were more receptive to love now? Was your guard even more pronounced, considering everything that's going on? What was the moment that grabbed you with this pink-haired beauty over here?
Well, when I met him, he had yellow hair.
Ah,
so that was like this big yellow tennis ball that popped up on my screen, which has definitely caught my attention. But I think the pandemic has made us more receptive because I think we're all feeling a little bit lonelier than normal, and it's a little bit harder to meet people. We can't just go out and meet kind of organically like we used to.
For sure.
We're just stuck in our homes.
So why not be stuck together?
And well, I've always wanted to ask you this. 6 months ago, when you downloaded the app, did you ever think later on that you'd now be sitting on Expresso talking about your relationship with this pink-haired man?
How much faith did you have in that app when you joined?
So, Hinge was completely new to me, but I think what drew me to it was that it was so different to kind of your Tinders, which seems like you just swipe on how someone looks, whereas this was a little bit more interesting and you can kind of get to know someone a little bit better. And Grant's obviously very funny and charming, and that made me... that made me want to meet him in real life. And here we are. And I definitely didn't expect to be here, but I'm happy to be here.
I love that, Asha. I want you to think about the importance of having that opportunity to vet someone before you actually meet, and why maybe a dating app could be a fantastic resource for everybody, not just during this pandemic, but maybe a great way. You can ponder that as well. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got any questions, 021 110 5552. We are talking love online. Maybe you've entered into a relationship and you want to share some sage advice. We'll continue the conversation just now.
Welcome back, everybody. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on SABC3. It is Monday, so we're talking relationships. And today we're asking, how will 2020 have an impact on dating trends in 2021? And we're back with clinical psychologist Asha Dulab to unpack this topic. And we're also being joined by our tech and gaming guru, Grant Hines, and his beautiful girlfriend, Amber Barnard. So do weigh in with your questions and comments on our Facebook page and our studio line on 021 110 552. Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us, not running away, because we still need some advice with regard to dating for some of us.
And I have to ask the first question. I mean, it's very rare now, and it's the first time that anyone started dating in the current pandemic that we've currently experienced. So, Abel, my question to you maybe is, what are some of the advantages as well as maybe disadvantages to starting off your dating career or journey in this current pandemic? What has it been like?
So I think one of the advantages is that you have to be really creative in your dating. I mean, we've been together 6 months. We haven't gone to the movies. We haven't done like normal dates. We've had to be a little bit creative about how we do things because we can't do normal things. And then obviously the disadvantages, besides there's like a little bit of gloom hanging over the relationship, you know.
Yeah, and then also, like, as a guy, when you've got to be creative in making the dates, you've got a lot less options, you know?
Yeah.
So you're like, no! So it's harder than normal. So, yeah. Our first date was literally, we decided to make it a car date, so we didn't leave the car. And we ended up going to, like, pick up takeaway coffees and driving around, and it ended up being a very, like, you know, a very
intimate date.
Intimate date, yeah. We actually learned a lot about each other because we're sitting in a space, talking to one another. There's no one in a restaurant around us necessarily making a noise or, you know, or like other like things that you have to, you know, juggle politics. It's just the two of us. You know?
I'm loving this. I'm looking at Asha smiling here. I can feel you as well. Because I think it's so cool, like the fact that you're forced to be creative and you're forced to be with each other and not have these external issues kind of distract you from the relationship. I think when you get to that opportunity, it's going to be really exciting, actually. I'm like so smiling here.
I need Greg to play that music. Aw, cute. Background sound effects. Grant, let's speak about some of the experiences you want to do with Amber once, you know, lockdown is over. What are some of the things that is on your bucket list?
I'm dying to travel with her. I think we're going to have so much fun going overseas and you know, seeing other countries. I travel a lot for work generally, and we do the same line of work. We're both in games, so which is also great. And so being able to travel for games together is just going to be like the best.
Yeah.
The coolest collab the tech world has ever seen right now. How awesome is this? So I've got to ask, I mean, it's great, like I said, you found a silver lining in what you mentioned to be somewhat of a gloomy, doomy situation surrounding a relationship, but I think it's beautiful. But Asha, maybe my question to you is, for someone that maybe hasn't found love during this time, and I mean, it can be very difficult, you can become quite despondent, what is your advice to them to kind of encourage them to, let's say, I wouldn't say not to give up, but not to have despair, to know that there is a time and a place and everything else for them? What would your words of encouragement be to them?
I think the greatest relationship we can have with anybody is it first starts with having a great relationship with yourself. So really going deep into some self-inquiry and getting to know yourself, and then really being open to trying out something different. I think some people are a bit cautious about virtual dating, but try it out and see what comes out of that. But I also just be light, be more courageous, be vulnerable in the process, and engage with the sense of good intention. Ask yourself, what is my intent in engaging? And do it with love, with compassion, with respect for the other individual that you are engaging with, and be hopeful.
And just like you said, it's the new normal. This is the way we're going to do it. This is the way forward now. This is the way we're connecting with people. And look at this. This should be the poster people.
The poster child. Yes, it's possible. Love is still real in the pandemic. You got no excuse. I love it.
Yeah, so thank you guys so much for joining us, for sharing your journey with us, but also for you for giving all your sound advice this morning.
Oh, guys, we're naturally special. Of course, another idea, if you are in a relationship, maybe you can get your cooking on. So let's find out what's happening in the kitchen for some more ideas.
I'll go. But one of you said, oh, he's back. Oh. Move way.
Clover fresh milk.
Made with love by Clover.
Oh, we are back in the kitchen with Neil Anthony, and if there's one dish a lot of people love, it is a chicken a la king. But it is very popular, and we are making things different because it is Meat-Free Monday, and it is also our way of showing you how you can make a veggie version of a classic dish. And Neil Anthony is here to take us through it. So we're making a veggie a la king.
We definitely are. So I mean, it's really just the exact same concept as chicken a la king, but you just take the chicken out.
Okay.
So it's super simple to make as well. Classically, we're just going to serve it on some just boiled rice. So that's something you can do. You can either just have that pre-done. You can do all that sort of stuff. We've got our oil in the pan here, nice hot pan. We're going to pop a little bit of butter in as well, because we want a nice amount of fat in there because we want to build our roux in there as well. So we need that fat to sort of emulsify with that flour. So now, as soon as you're, sorry, go.
Are you so seasoned in the fact that when it comes to making a roux, you're so, like, you can just go top of mind? I have to measure things out.
No. No, you just pop it in. That's the beauty of it. So you just sort of go with it all, go with the flow, as we say.
You're adding your peppers, you've added some onions.
Yeah, so we've got onions and peppers in there. Boom, boom. I'm just going to move this to a slightly larger heat.
There we go.
Yeah. So just pop that on there. So yeah, you just sort of really soften these down. We're going to classically again add our mushrooms as well. So, mushrooms there, and you can get those going.
That for me is always a big thing when it comes to, I mean, we're making a veggie a la king, but when it comes to an a la king dish, is to have the mushrooms.
You got to add the mushrooms, yeah. The mushrooms add quite a sort of meatiness as well, you know what I mean? So the mushrooms are going to sort of almost be our little sort of chicken substitute. So always a nice amount of salt and pepper as well. You always want to almost over-season it because you are going to now add flour and milk and all sorts. So that's going to really sort of dull it down a little bit. So if you think it's over-seasoned, it's probably not, because at the end of the day, it's going to be perfectly seasoned at the end. So as those sort of go and go,
just mix it, and I'm loving all the fragrances coming through.
Some blanched broccoli, which is going to give us some more texture. Yet again, that's going to be a nice sort of meat substitute.
So you add it already now before making the white sauce?
So, I mean, I like to sort of add everything in so we get everything nice and hot, because the white sauce is really only there as a sort of binder, as a sort of coating agent to the whole situation.
There we go.
So that, I mean, obviously beautiful sort of smells. And again, this is the classic base. You can go with any sort of, you can put a bit of chili in there, you can go with, whatever you like. So, I mean, it's a nice sort of real sort of base to use, and then, whatever you like to add in, just add in.
Amazing. Now, I know you're going to be using our Clover Fresh cream
Indeed, yeah, full cream milk as well. Don't go with anything sort of semi-skimmed or whatever.
Yeah. Well, what's great about Clover Fresh milk with its triple protect, it ensures you get superior quality with every litre of Clover Fresh milk that you use. It also undergoes a double purification and 80 quality test, and it has also got a special cooling technology that ensures it's kept at the right temperature and ultra clean packaging to lock in that moo.
Comes in a funky blue bottle, is basically what you're saying. That's the coolest part. So once you've also got to sort of cook that flour a little bit, so then that'll sort of stop having that sort of floury texture.
Okay.
But the beauty of it, like I said, with the broccoli being cooked and everything being cut nice and small, once that roux is basically thickened, I mean, you're good to go. So you pop a little bit in.
If someone wants to be as venturous as you, and they've now perhaps added a bit too much liquids,
just reduce it, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't add any more flour. I'll just keep on reducing it, and that will then that'll then thicken the sauce as well.
There we go.
So yeah.
Oh, I'm getting the smell of the mushrooms coming through.
Exactly.
I mean, we are focusing on the veggies. You've got your broccoli, your onions, your peppers. There we go.
And if you really want to zhuzh it up, you could pop a bit of truffle oil through there. You could really sort of, take those mushrooms to the next level. That to give you some more umami flavors going on.
And I mean, Meat-Free Mondays does not have to be boring.
Oh, exactly, yeah, that's what it's all about. And yet again, we're doing it on we're just doing it on some white rice. You could obviously go brown rice if you wanted to. You could go noodles. You could do also classically served on bread as well, which is quite a weird thing.
I've never had it on bread.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading up on it this morning. It's classically served on rice, noodles, or bread.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's as simple as that.
There we go.
Boom, boom, boom.
There we go. And you'll wait until you're happy with the texture of the sauce.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
There we go.
We actually got some more sauce here. We're just going to pop that through.
Just combining them. Oh, yeah. Looks incredible.
You want it real nice and that sort of coating, if you know what I mean. You don't want it to be too thin. You don't want it to be too thick.
True. You want it to at least blend well
exactly.
with the rice.
And obviously you want nice sort of, saucy sort of right at the end of the day as well.
There we go. Well, we do have this recipe available for you on the Expresso Show website, so make sure you check it out at expressoshow.com. Simply serve it up.
Also nice to make a nice, you can make a nice big batch of this and you can freeze it and you can, you know, you can sort of reuse it.
Meal prep for the week.
Exactly.
There we go.
You know, always a nice little sort of tear up. Couple of fresh herbs always makes it quite nice.
Put the chef's touch
there
to
you
a
go.
meal.
Just tear it up, yeah. That's. If you want to be chef, you just take something and tear it and chuck it on top.
There we go.
So there you go.
This looks amazing. Thank you so much.
Easy
Well, this is
peasy.
breakfast for me. Thank you. It's easy peasy. And if you would love to enjoy, there's a veggie a la king that we made for Meat-Free Mondays. Check out expressoshow.com. Thank you.
I'll go. But one of you said, oh, he's back. Move away.
Clover fresh milk.
Made with love by Clover. Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. We are still live with your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and we've spent the entire morning learning about the social media found couple Grant and Amber. And in this day and age, more and more stories will be established on social media platforms or dating apps. Now we get to find out just how much these two know about each other. No pressure. It is a fire question game round.
I just want to say that we didn't know about this. Going in, I'm very scared.
Good, this is perfect then, that's perfect. So I believe it's been 6 months, right, since you guys have actually
So
officially...
if we get things wrong
Please forgive
this
us.
time.
If you get things wrong, then you have even more reason to go on those dates once the lockdown's done, all right? So, okay, first question's up, and you got to be quick fire, right? No thinking. You're going to give you a 5-second limit on your answers.
Okay, but whose answers first?
So the first one's to you, Grant, all right?
Okay.
Grant, you ready?
Okay.
All right. What was your first impression when you first saw Amber's dating profile?
Oh, breathtaking.
Oh, yes.
Cute.
Love it.
Amber, what was the biggest surprise when you eventually got to know Grant?
That he talks a lot. Like, all the time. Non-stop.
We should have warned you. That should have been the disclaimer right there at the bottom.
Slow zoom on my face.
This was part of your job, man, so I'm glad for it. So, Grant, my next question to you. What's one resolution you think Amber should have this year?
Ooh.
This is a tough one. I think just, you know, her future. You know, like, I think one of the things that she's really interested in, or that she's really inspired about, is just like kicking forward into this year and just like leaving 2020 behind in the best way possible. And that's, I think, a future and just building on and being excited about a future is a reason.
Amber, are you listening? Paying attention?
Yeah. Don't sleep on yourself, girl. 21 is yours. Amber, I'm going to ask you. Okay. Have you met Grant's friends? If so, no pressure. Which one is your favorite?
I have met them. It took a while to meet them because we had to do it like as safely as possible. I don't want to pick a favorite.
Pick one. Just pick one.
Can I say Alez?
Yes, yeah.
Alez is my favorite.
Liz is who?
Liz was my ex, actually. So.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so
Nice.
Yeah, we were really good friends, and it was great. Like when we all like good mates. So.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions.
I think everyone in Mzansi is like, whoa, wait, social media. So look, I've got a side question here. It's not in the script, but I just genuinely want to know, if you two had to choose your favorite characters that you could play, who would they be?
In game?
Yes.
In a video game.
Gaming character, alias. Who would it be for both of you? Ooh, I got a good one here.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
There's so many.
I would play Spider-Man.
Okay.
100%.
I can see that.
Yeah, I would just, you know, that adventure
Pinky.
swinging around.
And you, Amble?
I think I'd be Eivor now because she's like quite badass, you know.
Eivor from Assassin's Creed.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, okay, you went like all
Yeah,
the way
all the
there.
way.
Okay, I
Yeah.
can see it, I like that.
Grant, I'm going to bring it back to you. What do you think Amble's parents thought of you the first time they met you?
Yo, I was nervous. I was so nervous.
See, you got to tell us as well, what happened? How did it go down?
Okay, so I met her mom
In J-Bay
in J-Bay first, and I was super nervous, but it worked out fine. You know, like it worked out okay.
What color was your hair then, by
It was
the way?
yellow.
Okay.
And it was with the grandparents too, and like, you know, being in like J-Bay, I don't think that many people were walking around with yellow hair, so I think everyone was like, what's going on?
In life, not a lot of
But the
people
family
do.
was so sweet. Everybody was so warm and accepting. I just like, they took away my nerves. So yeah.
Oh, I love
What
that.
do you think she thought of you? That was the question.
Oh, I think she thought I was a little eccentric. I am a little strange. I think I'm not an accountant and that kind of thing. But you know, I think Amble's also like a little strange as well.
Yeah.
So like we go together like that, you know. There's nothing normal about like us as people.
Can you imagine the conversation? Grant, what do you do for a living? How are you going to support my daughter? Well, I like to play games.
I do this thing. Cool. Yeah.
So
I think the grandparents were very confused. I think it took a while to
yeah, okay. All right, my next question, Amble, we're going to get a little bit more deep now, all right?
Ooh,
And
okay.
you got pressure on you for this one. So my question to you is, what's the most attractive thing you find in Grant? The most attractive thing you find in Grant? Apart from his hair, you cannot say his hair.
It's not actually a physical thing, but to me it's his kindness. So the way that he treats all of his friends and family and the way that they talk about him even when he's not in the room, it's such a telling thing. And he's got like such a good heart of gold, and he always wants to help everyone all the time, no matter what, even like to the detriment of himself sometimes.
I'm not crying. You guys I think we should just end right there. No, I'm joking. Grant, we're going to leave the last one to you. Name 3 of your favorite things about Amble.
Wow, I love her. Also, her kindness. She's extremely kind and thoughtful to everybody. She's extremely loyal. Just to her and her friends, the way she speaks about her friends and her family is on such high regard. I only recently met her friends, but the way she speaks about them at all times is just like on another level, and it's a deep care. And just how like she's got this quiet passion, you know? It's like, she seems very still at the front, but she's like, I'm very passionate physically, and I'm like, you can see it, but she shares the exact same passion and it's happening underneath, you know? And I think that's one of my favorite parts about her. So even if, you know, I can get excited about something and you can't see it in her face, I've learned that it's in her, you know, and that passion's boiling up.
Oh, well, look, Grant, Amble, we cannot wish you nothing but success for the rest of your adventure. And I think you've inspired Mzansi. 6 months ago, you were absolute strangers, and look at you now. There's love, there's memory making, and there's just so much passion, guys. Thank you so much. And we've got we've got G in the studio with Jared Records just to finish off the show, of course, and deliver us with some magic. Let's check it out.
Oh man, I think my face is cramping from smiling so much. Absolutely love it. Oh, we're going to round off with one more beautiful performance from this duo this morning, just for you as part of our Gospel Monday. It is As the Deer.
As the deer pants for the water, so my soul longs after you. You alone are my heart's desire, and to worship you. You alone are my strength, my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. I want you more than gold or silver, only you can satisfy. You alone are the real joy giver and the apple of my eye. You alone are my strength and my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you. You alone are my strength and my shield. To you alone may my spirit yield. You alone are my heart's desire, and I long to worship you.
Absolutely beautiful, magical, so much love in the air, guys. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your beautiful story. Thank you to you for connecting with us. We'll see you tomorrow. Love ya. Never forget it. Mwah. That was great.
Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.